started to honor the great Paul Revere for his midnight ride.
Paul didn't run.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
I was hoping that Terry and Jen were listening to that because that's factually not true. That is, I think I tricked you, but no, the Boston Marathon was not started to honor Paul Revere for his midnight ride.
And Jen Jensen.
The theme of this show. I don't know what happened.
On your home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
Felt like I was about to make a rap video. All the equipment, everything works in here so well. Static. I got a phone call yesterday. From a buddy of mine, Vaughn, who said, like, hey, something wrong with y'all's signal? Thought I was going to have to reset my car. I was like, yeah, transmitter got blown a couple weeks ago. He was actually going to go into his car during that same storm. He was going to go into his car and, like, unhook the battery because he thought his radio was messed up.
That's a bridge further than I could go.
I was just thinking you talk about someone so dedicated to be a part of the program and says nothing works here. Nothing. The transmitter's gone. Our signal's been sketchy for 3 weeks. Jen's computers, she's got 97 computers in there. Like 2 of them work. The own air light out in the hallway here doesn't work. We still don't have cup holders. Don't know what happened there. And as I went to turn it on, I was about to have to do the turn my headphones up, Jen. Turn me up in the ear.
Turn me up some.
Welcome in. Yeah, to the program. Nothing works around here. Nothing works. 6:04 on a Thursday morning as we get you up, get you going. I got heavily invested in some NHL. Last night was the night. Got heavily invested in the NHL last night. Preston, that was kind of my introduction. Just fully all in on the Hurricanes and the Islanders last night. Good match, game, whatever it's called. By the way, remind me, update, Tony Annan doing better. Text with him. Text with him yesterday.
No doubt in my mind. If there's anybody I thought would overcome a knee injury, I'm sure it's him.
As he said, he's had a lot of footy to watch.
Okay.
So
I had to translate it.
We're not even just shortening it to football. We're just calling it not soccer anymore. We're not even shortening it to football. We're just calling it footy.
I thought maybe you were saying like foodie, like he was, going to become a cook or something.
No, it's that's kind of the international short-term footy. Mm-hmm. A lot of footy. Big match yesterday in the UEFA Championship League, the European Championship League. I actually did watch a little bit of that. Man United and Bayern Munich. They're taking on each other. But yeah, a lot for us to get into this morning. We have so many topics, both sports related,
oh boy,
and non-sports related. And joining us in the 7 o'clock hour. Or joining us from 7 to 9 to discuss Olivia Thompson, who we thoroughly enjoyed so much. We're going to start bringing her back more often to get some hot takes from her. But we got a lot to get to today. Preston's got a poll question that he wants to run out there based on some Major League Baseball events. Major League Baseball is just messing it up, right? Like, it's just, how do we tear this thing down, right?
Bill, I think I'm going the other way.
Oh.
I think I'm going the other way.
Wow.
I think I'm liking this.
Really?
Yeah, I think we're going the other way. I think they've seen some issues. They are addressing them aggressively. I'm not sure what's going to come out on the other side, but I don't know, Bill. I kind of like this.
Wow. There was multiple things. If you didn't see yesterday, we're going to discuss a little bit today. Max Scherzer yesterday ejected in the 4th inning. Like, just get out of here. With your rosin, it's not rosin. You're over there just scuffing the baseball. You're doing all kinds of illegal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like. I don't like anything about this. Like,
okay.
There is a fine line, and I am kind of interested in this because you're going to have. I feel like I wonder where the baseball purists, the true baseball purists, go, because I feel like baseball purists also tend to say, like, hey, doctoring the baseball is part to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't go out there with a small toolkit and
well, that some of them do go out there with nail filers. And
that's what I'm saying.
We've heard all of these rules before.
I want to say like 70s maybe is the height
peak.
Of the peak, maybe the early 80s, the peak of just going out there with a not only did you have your glove, but you had a small tool belt around your, just a sander, just
Filing
sanding
it down.
filing the. I don't know. I'm interested in hearing baseball purists, people who really get into its opinion of this, because the other side of this for me is if I pay good money to go watch Max Scherzer pitch,
Cheat.
I want to watch him pitch. Yesterday I made the comment, the joke, I guess, if you will, but my kind of serious take on, like, hey, I'm going to the ballpark. I'd like to watch Aaron Judge have 5, 6, 7 at bats. If I can throw him in there for the magic batter where he's batting a little more often, it makes it a little more entertaining for me. Well, if I'm yesterday, if you didn't see it, you had the Dodgers, you had the Mets, good little matchup, good little pitching matchup yesterday. You were kind of robbed of it. Whether, I don't know, Max Scherzer says that, he didn't have anything. He says it was just rosin. He was ejected. He was checked twice and then ejected. The Mets did go on to win, for those of you that even care about that thing. And the Dodgers have a losing record now, 9-10. I'm not sure if anybody really cares about that. But you had Noah Syndergaard pitching for the Dodgers. You had Scherzer for the Mets. Pretty good pitching matchup. It's kind of why I would have liked to watch it. But is Major League Baseball going too far?
I don't think so, Bill.
Okay.
I don't think so. I like it. They are smoking all the cheaters out of the game. First, we had people banging on trash cans. Now we got people using video equipment to steal signs. And then you have these pitchers in reaction to be fair, this new hitting and home runs. These dudes are using all types of stuff on the mound. And you know what? Good. You got caught.
This comes from a former hitter, a first baseman, a guy that all state.
Well, Bill, one of our enduring memories of baseball is George Brett, right?
Just screaming out of the dugout,
yes,
yelling and screaming.
Because of what? The pine tar was too high on the bat, and they measured it, and they put it down, and he runs screaming out. That's like one of my core baseball memories. Okay. So we know that baseball has cheated for a long time. It's built into the fabric of the game, and sometimes you get caught. You get caught, Max. That's it.
Well, it's kind of like with racing, They're supposed to be working within certain parameters. Okay. Sometimes they take it and just tweak something just a little bit more. And it's like, if we get busted, okay, we get fined, we'll pay it and we'll move on. But, we tried. Not that it's right, but it's kind of like everybody.
The old 64 to 55 motto, huh? Okay,
to quote the great Brad Loin, you got to know the rules so you can bend the out of them.
Boy, I look forward to Olivia's take on this coming up.
Got to know the rules so you can bend them.
I look forward to having this conversation with her in about an hour. We'll discuss this. We'll get some audio. Preston's got a poll question he wants to throw out just based on this. You want to go ahead and throw it out? Just we'll get some takes early on.
Let's get them early on. So you meeting somebody. Would you rather their hand be sticky or moist when you shake hands?
Jen, are you a handshaker?
Yep.
You're in a situation you cannot, fist bump is not an option here. You going in for the handshake. Would you rather their hand be sticky or would you rather their hand be moist? You can only pick one. Which one is worse?
I'm channeling my inner Spurrier right now. Just nope, my man, not touching him. Nope. Jen, what do you got on that? Jen, you're in people to people cells.
Honestly, I think sticky.
Okay,
I'm better with that because I think there's a whole array of bodily fluid things that go with the moist option. So sticky probably is related to a food item or
you being aggressive with the probably.
Yeah.
This is was it a week ago? Was it a week? No, a week ago we were at LJ's for the it was last Wednesday when we were at the Columbia Executive Owners Association and that's when I was cutting the donut because I didn't want this. I didn't want the stickiness. I didn't want that on my hands. So to shake hands but I've tried to transition to the fist bump. Like I try to make it, but then you get that awkward. Like I put the fist out, you put the hand. Then we do the switch thing where I open the hand, but you close the fist, and then we don't know what to do. So we
then
just
you
do
play
that
rock paper scissors.
Then we do that odd hard shoulder slapping. Hey, good to see you. Slap each other in the shoulder, and it's like all right. So
for the poll question. Let me phrase it properly. What's worse, somebody's hand is sticky when you shake them, or their hand is moist when you shake it.
And how many people have an aversion to you even using the word moist?
Oh, for sure.
Because there are a
Is
lot
it
of people, my
specifically
daughter,
used for that word.
Yep.
Let's say it again. Moist.
Oh boy.
A good moist handshake, or a good sticky handshake, whatever you dislike the most.
I like this. Randall and Walterboro just got just spell check just got him. Just I don't know if he did. He said, "I'm going moose," and hopefully it's moist because he got moist on the second go around. He said, "I'm going moose," and hopefully it's moist because they just washed them and there were no towels in the bathroom. And then he responds, "LOL, that was moist, not moose." Yes,
that's it. Listen, if you shake somebody's hand and it's extremely moist, and you're just like, I just hope that was soap and water. I don't
Yeah, because all I'm thinking is sweat.
That's
or-
I mean, like,
Mhm.
nah, it's I'm gonna mentally just be like, if their hand is moist, like I'm just gonna mentally just go straight to, all right, that's what happened. I'm sticking with that story. They washed their hands.
Listen,
I do want to get into a lot today.
Mhm.
South Carolina football had a monster day yesterday on the recruiting trail. South Carolina now has, according to 24/7 Sports, the number 5 overall recruiting class in the country. We'll get into that. Brian on our live stream says, great discussion at breakfast. You're going to look at your coworkers today.
I aim to please, sir.
Good friend of the program, Kevin Heisey, weighing in. He goes moist. Oh, yeah, we got a lot we're going to get into, but I'll tell this story real quick. When my son was playing like t-ball, because I did ask him yesterday about wiffle ball, and he looked at me as if I had told him to eat a plate of Brussels sprouts. Like, just what, huh? But to answer that, there was one time that my son was playing, I guess, coach's pitch, and kid comes up to bat, and I was kind of doing the thing where you stand behind the catcher, and the ball doesn't get called, so you help out and you kind of do things. Kid comes to bat, and I go to tie his shoe. Your kid's shoe's untied, so I'm me being the good Samaritan I am, walk around, kneel down, tie the kid's shoe. Notice it hadn't rained in like 5 or 6 days, but his shoe and laces are soaked.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, how's your where were you just at, buddy? Like, why is your shoe so good? Oh, he's in the bathroom. Oh, okay. There we go. No,
Yep.
It's just
Rub a little dirt on it and keep it moving,
just
man.
Keep it moving. So yeah. 803-404-6100. How you can weigh in this morning. We'll get into, again, a little bit of recruiting. We'll get into some overall general football discussion. And again, today, this is it. We've got paper. We've got a pen. We'll write your name down. Give us your final after spring game hot takes. Mine is that Trey Knox. I'm going 46 catches. I said 500 yards. I'll stick with that. 4 touchdowns. I'm going Trey Knox on that. If you've got a final spring game hot take, anything you saw from the game last weekend, and you are prepared to make a true hot take, we'll put your name by it. We'll save it. We'll hold on to it. We'll honor it. And we will call you out in the month of December when we get around to it. So if you've got a spring game hot take you're ready to make, today is the final day to get that one in. We got a lot to do here this morning. Again, Olivia Thompson set to join us. We're going to go over the wiffle ball rules and get official Ghost Runner standards for
Ghost Runner scores from second.
Ghost Runner official rules there. Brad Crawford has put out a prediction for South Carolina. I don't think people are going to like it. We're going to get into that. And we'll get the poll question up on Twitter. When you go to shake someone's hand, would you prefer, would you prefer it be sticky?
It has to be one or the other.
Or moist? If it's going to be, what would you go with there? 803-404-6100. You're listening to Preston Thorne. I'm Bill Gunner. She's Jen Jensen. It is the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Got something to say?
Ring us up on the Love Chevy phone line. South Carolina's #1 volume Chevy dealer.
At 803-404-6100.
Your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
This is Boomer Science with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Showtime Pay-Per-View. Go to sho.com/PPV to order now. Since 2021, only 3 pitchers were ejected for sticky substance violations, including the Mets' Max Scherzer yesterday. All 3 were called by umpire Phil Cuzzi. I see a trend here, folks. Scherzer says he used only rosin and sweat. Cuzzi disagreed. So, how can Mad Max win a he said suspension appeal? I'm Boomer Science.
CBS Sports Radio. Do not miss the boxing event of the year this Saturday live on Showtime pay-per-view. It is power versus speed as Gervonta Tank Davis and King Ryan Garcia meet in the dream match of the undefeated. Saturday, April 22nd. Two of boxing's biggest names will go toe-to-toe, leaving only one with the crown of undefeated. This highly anticipated fight to the finish will keep you on the edge of your seat from the opening bell to the final countdown. Go to sho.com/PPV to claim front row right now. That's sho.com/PPV.
This is your captain. Better buckle your seatbelts for this one. I saw my passport expired, so I went to Staples, got a passport photo lickety-split. While I was there, I grabbed some tiny travel soap and shampoo. Yeah, feeling fresh as a daisy.
Staples has everything for travel. 10-minute passport photos, luggage, headphones, even personal travel items. And now at Staples, get 20% off your in-store purchase when you buy any travel service. Plus, travel-size Purell hand sanitizer is just 49 cents. Get all set to jet at Staples. Offers end 4/22. In-store only. Exclusions apply.
Sponsored by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Train Heating and Cooling Systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent Train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring sergeants and lieutenants statewide. If you have correctional, security, military, or police experience, you can join SCDC as a sergeant or lieutenant. There's $7,500 sign-on bonuses, increased pay, and great employee benefits available. Start your new year off with a new career. Visit joinscdc.com to apply today or call 803-734-JOBS for more information.
Get in on all the NBA playoffs action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can make a $5 pregame moneyline bet and score $150 in bonus bets if their team wins. Download the app now. Sign up with the code Patrick. So it's code Patrick only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelplinema.org. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Kansas, call 1-800-522-4700 on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Opt-in required. One bonus bet issued based on amount of initial losing NBA bet. Eligibility, wagering, and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms.
When you think about spring, good stuff springs to mind. You know, like spring break. Woohoo! A friend springing for drinks.
Thanks, dude.
A spring in your step. Spring fever.
Oh, behave.
And best of all, spring water dough pizza from the Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers.
Yeah, baby!
Experience the taste of spring with our amazing hand-tossed pies, spring fresh salads, and over 100 beers from around the world. Enjoy spring at the Mellow Mushroom in the Vista and on Sunset in Lexington.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates. It's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Plus text text entitled approved credit call 888-320-6359 for details. JT's Kia just received nearly 200 new Kias fresh off the truck, and we're trying to move them quick. So while they last, you can get a spanking new Kia from $18,990. Drive the perfect SUV crossover, the Kia Sorento, for just $239 a month. And your credit problem is no longer a problem when you see JT. Don't miss these deals. Rush to JT's Kia, Killian Commons Parkway, jtskia.com.
107.5 The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Hey everyone, a good Thursday morning. It's time for another First Alert traffic update. As we're early on here, we have not seen anything causing major issues around the region. Confirmed collisions, big slowdowns on heavily traveled roadways and our interstates. Keep listening along this morning. We work to keep you safe on your travels, let you know of any of those big slowdowns as they occur. This has been a WIS First Alert traffic update. I'm meteorologist Tony Chivaroli.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
Discover Herndon Certified. Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence knowing Herndon Chevrolet has got you covered.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. The Early Game with Bill Gunter.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
And Jen Jensen on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
6:23 on a Thursday morning. Bill Gunner, Preston Thorne, Jen Jensen, Olivia Thompson joining us in about 35 minutes. She'll hang out with us until 9 o'clock. Carrie Tharp joining us this morning at 8:40. We got a very close Corley Pool Solutions Checkered Flag Challenge competition going on. That was a lot to say with a lot of C's in there. Corley Pool Solutions Checkered Flag Challenge going on this morning. We'll get into that, so look forward to that. But let's get out to the Love Chevy phone line. South Carolina and Florida will play tonight. You can hear it right here on 107.5 The Game. And Gamecock Larry wants to weigh in on another big baseball series this weekend. Gamecock Larry, how you feeling this morning? Gamecock Larry. Hello, Gamecock Larry.
I ain't feeling too good, but I just want to say one thing. If we don't sweep them, if we don't go 3-0, we're going to go 2-1, and that's going to make us 31, 33, and 33 and 7. And then we're going to get on the second half of the season, and we're going to win 50-something games this year. We're going to start Anyway, that's all I got to say. Go Gamecocks. Love all y'all. Go Gamecocks.
Love you too, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Good to hear from you this morning. Yeah, we'll talk about this baseball series coming up. Gamecocks and the Gators, they get going tonight. Should be a really good time. Football hot takes coming off of spring. Bobby weighs in. You ready for this one? It's a good one.
Is this what level of hot is this? Is this like Tabasco hot? Is this ghost pepper hot? Is this, just regular old Texas Pete hot?
I'll give it to you. I'll give it. You can decide. He says hot take. Spencer Rattler is in New York for the Heisman selection.
Oh, that's
he didn't say would win because this is an interest. He didn't say win, but will be. So that would make him, I would assume 4, 3. They normally have 3, 4. I don't think I've seen 5 in an extremely long time. But that's a good one.
He's clarifying. He's in.
He
New
says
York.
hot take.
He's in New York for the Heisman ceremony.
He's not just hanging out in New York.
Okay.
during the Heisman, he is there for the Heisman selection.
That's ghost pepper levels of hot.
Okay,
but it's what we want. Bring them on. Good job. We appreciate it.
That's a good one from Todd. Todd weighs in. He says South Carolina football hot take this fall. Gamecocks will go 8-4. Okay, that's not the hot take. No. They will lose 3 games they're favored in, and they will win 3 games they are not favored in.
Oddly specific.
That's your hot take right there.
That's the hot take. I have to look at the schedule to correlate that, but okay. We're rising up. That's Tabasco hot.
Okay, so we've got that going. Just a few other things here let's get to, and then we'll get back out to the Love Chevy phone lines. Gene weighed in this morning and said cheating has always been a part of baseball. Always will. I'm kind of with him on that. It's just what it is. And then he says, moist, worse. It's a good point. Back out to the Love Chevy phone lines we go. David has got a hot take that we need to get written down. David, what you got this morning? What's on your mind?
Good morning, guys. I think Tweety will be the workhorse running back by the end of the season.
That is a definite. That's probably one of the. That's a good one. That's a good one because I don't. That would take a lot. I think it ends up being DeCarrion Joyner, but I'm with you, David, on that one. That's a really good one. You go in with that. That's another one up there with the Spencer Rattler one.
That's jalapenos with the seeds.
Okay.
With the seeds.
Okay.
Mhm.
Bill, I don't have a problem with the pitcher cheating because in my wrestling background, the bad guy motto is win if you can, lose if you must, always cheat. But the only problem I have with baseball is the Pete Rose fiasco. He couldn't get in when he was doing something outside of the box, but Gaylord Perry is in the Hall of Fame, and he cheated whenever he could. Appreciate what y'all do. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Thank you for the phone call, David. Yeah, we'll get you some Max Scherzer audio from yesterday and what he had to say. A couple more people weighing in on the moist versus sticky discussion on if you have to shake somebody's hand. DC says, if I shake a moist hand, I'm going to squeeze until I hear bones cracking.
That's right. Punish them. Punish them for violating
Yeah.
the social norm. You're right. I like that approach.
Robin says, I agree with Jen. Sticky is less of a question as to what bodily fluid it is. Just straight off of eating the ribs or the chicken wings. 803-404-6100. Travis weighs in his hot take for the list. Spencer Rattler will break Steve Tannehill's record, 29 touchdown passes in a season, by throwing 31.
Oh, with the specifics added onto it, you know what? I'm not sure that that's as hot as we think it is. That's Tabasco hot. That's not ghost pepper hot. That's a fair take. And honestly, I think it may take that type of effort for the team to get up into, if we're going to say 9 to 10 wins, he's probably going to have that type of effort.
I think with Spencer Rattler, that's a good one there.
That's a great take.
And the more I've kind of come around off of and kind of final hot takes, so to speak, or wrapping up spring game thoughts, I do actually wonder if this is going to be more of a like 70-30 pass to run offense right now, because I don't know if they've got the running backs to do the job. Can they get into the transfer portal and land another solid running back that can complement DeCarrion Joyner, or can complement, Dontavius Braswell is coming in, but it's a freshman. I'll ask you this when we come back, because South Carolina had a good day recruiting yesterday, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but I'll ask you when we come back, in your opinion, how easy is it? Will Muschamp always said the further you get away from the football, the easier it was to play as a freshman. I'll ask you how easy that transition is for a guy like Dontavius Braswell, who was a 4-star running back in the previous recruiting class. South Carolina yesterday picking up a pair of 4-star recruits and a 3-star offensive lineman. We nailed 2 of them here on the show with Kelvin Hunter and Mike Williams. They also landed Braden Lee. We'll tell you about that. We'll ask that question. We'll continue on. The poll question is up. You can go to Twitter. I've tagged Preston. I've tagged Jen. You go to shake hands with someone. What is worse? Their hands are sticky or moist? Early vote. Very strong. Moist. That is worse. That is worse.
Sports out of context. As Scherzer recalled, Kuzi then told him, your hand is too sticky. Carry on.
There you go. 803-404-6100. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
We are very social.
At 1075 The Game on Twitter, 1075 The Game on Instagram, and 1075 The Game on Facebook.
Oh, Teddy, did you get my friend request? I'll have to check.
Your home of the Gamecocks, 1075 The Game.
Weekend almost upon us. Matter of fact, tonight, big baseball game. Maybe if you're not going, or maybe if you're going and you're going to tailgate, you're going to be grilling out. And if you're going to be grilling out, I'm telling you what, there's only one place to go for fresh cuts of meat, and that is Old Timey Meat Market. That's my go-to weekend location, whether I am going to grill out with the family or whether we're doing something on the stove. Old Timey Meat Market is my go-to selection, and you've got 3 places you can go: St. Andrews, South Congaree, and Lexington. Old Timey's Meat Markets, our shelves are always stocked with various cuts and grades of beef, pork, poultry. They have incredible seafood. Picked up some great salmon from them last week, because my daughter is, reading above grade, or whatever it is. She's very smart, and we're all very excited. So we celebrated by going to Old Timey Meat Market and picking up salmon. Today, it's my son's 11th birthday. Austin's 11th birthday today, so I'll be visiting Old Timey Meat Market for that delicious bacon-wrapped filet. He loves them. I go with the chicken skewers, Italian chicken skewers. They'll have great selections of twice-baked potatoes. They've got incredible biscuits, Southern biscuits that you can pop in the oven for breakfast. Old Timey Meat Market has got you covered. Whether you're at the dining room table with the family or you got the weekend party and you're grilling out, Old Timey Meat Market is your place to go. Go visit them. Again, 3 locations, St. Andrews, South Congaree, and I'm promising you, you'll probably run into me at the Lexington store. Go visit Old Timey Meat Market and tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
Plus, text and title with approved credit. Call 888-411-7640 for details. Buy a Ram and buy it at JT's Dodge Land on Greystone. We have truckfuls and truckfuls of Rams. South Carolina's truck giant stays stocked. Up to $11,000 off on a new 2022 Bighorn Ram. Or take one for just $359 a month. Save $5,000 on new Durangos, Chargers, and Challengers. Credit concerns? Not with JT. The truck giant says yes, you can. It's Ram Truck Month at JT's Dodge Land on Greystone. JT'sDodge.com.
The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's Visionaries of the Year fundraising competition has kicked off. There are 7 local heroes in the Midlands that are raising funds to beat blood cancers, and they need your help. The visionary who raises the most funds for LLS will earn the coveted title of Visionary of the Year. The winners will be announced at our grand finale on May 5th. Visit llsvisionaries.org for more information. Help your local heroes beat blood cancer and donate today.
Pulliam Restoration means business. Worried about the well-being of your property? Partner with Pulliam Restoration, Columbia's largest and most well-known mitigation company. Flood, fire, mold, we have it covered. I'm Robert Pulliam. If you're a property manager or owner, call Pulliam Restoration for all your mitigation needs. At Pulliam Restoration, we have the guaranteed fastest response time and pride ourselves on getting to you in minutes, not hours. It's your choice who you use. Choose Pulliam Restoration. We're ready 24/7. Pulliam247.com or call us at 803 Pulliam.
I'm Taylor Bisciotti with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. NFL insider Ian Rappaport reporting that the 49ers have been receiving inquiries about teams possibly trading for quarterback Trey Lance. The team did make it clear that they were not making calls about Lance, who was the number 3 overall pick in the 2021 draft and had his season cut short last season when he broke his right ankle in week 2. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa sustained multiple concussions last year and Wednesday had his first news conference since his last one on Christmas that ended his 2022 season. Tua admits he considered walking away from the game after the season, saying he had considered for a time, but it would be really hard for him to walk away from the game. Last day for teams to bring in draft prospects for visits before next week's draft. Some of the notable meetings Wednesday: C.J. Stroud with the Falcons, Anthony Richardson with the Ravens, and Will Anderson with the Seahawks. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Hurry and shop the final days of SpringFest at Lowe's. Ready to get started on your spring planting? Right now, get select Bonnie 19.3-ounce vegetables and herbs, 3 for $12. Save on indoor updates, too, with up to 40% off select bathroom faucets and vanities. Shop Lowe's today, because Lowe's knows spring. Valid through 4/26. Bonnie offer available in-store only. Actual plant size varies. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location. While supplies last.
Omaha Steaks Burger Perfection Flight, made from single cuts of real aged Omaha steaks, rewrites the book on burgers. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code HOT at checkout for an extra $20 off your order, plus free shipping when you order the $79.99 Burger Perfection Flight. A fantastic array of pure ground steak on a bun burger greatness. For $20 off the Burger Perfection Flight, use promo code HOT at checkout at omahasteaks.com and discover your new burger obsession. Minimum order may be required.
107.5 The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Hey everyone, a good Thursday morning. It's time for another First Alert traffic update. As we're early on here, we have not seen anything causing major issues around the region. Confirmed collisions, big slowdowns on heavily traveled roadways. highways and our interstates. Keep listening along this morning. We work to keep you safe on your travels, let you know of any of those big slowdowns as they occur. This has been a WIS First Alert Traffic Update. I'm meteorologist Tony Chivaroli.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
So after the second inning, my hand, it was a little clumpy from the rosin and sweat that it was clumpy, and Phil told me to wash it off. So I washed it off, came back out there after the third, with alcohol, I washed it with alcohol and rosin. And when I went back out there, the alcohol for a little bit there can be sticky in rosin. That can happen. So he was like, that's too sticky. You need to go back on there, wash it off again, and reapply the rosin. And so I did that. And then at the same time, he thought my glove had too much rosin on it. And I was like, okay, if that's a problem, there's nothing going on. He's like, you need a new glove. Like, okay. So I come back out, pitch the third, and knew I was going to get checked in the fourth. So I'd have to be an absolute idiot to try to do anything when I'm coming back out for the fourth. So after that third inning, I'm in front of the MLB official that's underneath here. I wash my hand with alcohol in front of the official. I then apply rosin, and then I grab sweat. When I then go back out there, and Phil Cuzzy says that my hand's too sticky. I don't get it. Yes, when you use sweat and rosin, your hand is sticky, but I don't get how I get ejected when I'm in front of MLB officials doing exactly what you want and being deemed my hand's too sticky when I'm using legal substance. I do not understand that.
Preston, do you understand that? I'm with him.
They caught me. I used too much rosin.
He said, then you're saying an MLB official's in on him. In on it.
Get him out of here. I just think it's funny. I think it's hilarious because the MLB official said, I've been inspecting hands, which now goes back three seasons. This is the stickiest one yet.
It is really entertaining. The stickiest one yet. You can go
Congratulations, Max. You have the stickiest hands.
Stickiest hand. You can go to our poll question this morning. Go to @Will1L WIL Gunter GUNTER. We got a poll question out. You go to shake hands with someone. What is worse? Their hands are sticky or moist?
He said, compared to the first inning, the level of stickiness, it was so sticky that when we touched hands, our fingers stuck together.
Jeez, Max. Calm it down over there. 803-404-6100 if you want to weigh in. Funny, it's a kind of a funny sports topic from yesterday, and that's why we're kind of laughing about it. I look forward to hearing Olivia Thompson's take on that. Just in just about 20 minutes, she'll join us, and we'll get her take on that, because that is something like, they do the Gamecock walk now. And obviously everybody's got their hands out. They just want to slap hands, want to kind of dap up, whatever. And now you kind of go through. Were you kind of as a college player? Were you like
I'm not a germaphobe though.
Okay,
so that none of that really bothers me. And also I'm a horrendous sweater, so there's a chance I could be the offending party here.
You have the moist hands?
Yeah, that's a good chance.
All right, there you go. We'll remember that. Only fist bumps for you anytime we're out and about.
Gotta keep a big man towel around.
With the public. 803-404-6100. I did watch. I was trying to think it was one of the golf events recently. I might have been the Masters, or it might have been the Hair. I can't remember. But I was just thinking about that, like, as players are kind of walking through the crowd, everybody's got their hand out. And it's kids. A lot of it's just, kids like 7 to like 15. They just want to be able to high five. Austin, we were at a women's basketball game towards the end of the season, and Josh Gray went walking by, and where we were at, Austin's like leaning over to like high five, and Josh Gray like high fives him, and Austin was like, "Did you see how big his hands are?" And like was really excited. So I get that, like, kids, that's a big deal. They want to just be acknowledged by athletes and stuff, but yeah, you run the risk there of
especially after if it's like a 4:00 game, a long afternoon, the tailgating. It's who knows.
803-404-6100. South Carolina with a big day recruiting yesterday, picks up 3 commitments. We expected 2. We knew about 2 yesterday as we were doing the show, those ended up being Mike Williams, and that actually ended up being Braden Lee, the cornerback out of the state of Maryland. So South Carolina raids the state of Maryland yesterday for two of their better prospects in 6'6". He's now being listed. I love these things. Did you ever look? It's totally different now with the internet and how they do things. But did you ever look at the internet and see like Preston Thorne, 6'2", 320?
1,000%. Yeah.
Like,
that's definitely 6'2"
like,
for a while.
What?
I was 6'2" for a long time in my life. And it all depends on perspective, because some people say you're taller than some people say you're shorter. And listen, I've been anywhere from 5'11" to 6'2".
Okay, because yesterday, Mike Williams, the offensive lineman out of Maryland, went from 6'7", 315 to 6'6", 325. Dropped an inch, gained 10 pounds. But
And definitely 10 pounds of muscle.
Yes, just straight 10. Yeah, he's just
For
he's
sure.
ready to come in and make an impact right now.
Uh-huh.
But South Carolina beats out Michigan State and Miami for him. Very good pickup there. Again, Braden Lee, a 4-star defensive back. South Carolina picks him up. And then kind of the big one, just because it's an in-state prospect, I think, is South Carolina lands Kelvin Hunter, a defensive back out of Florence, who South Carolina's recruited. Torian Gray and Clayton White have really made a priority throughout the recruiting process, and that paid off. Yes, it was actually a really cool picture, Preston, of Kelvin Hunter with, I believe, his dad that was circulating on social media, and he's decked out. He's got the South Carolina T-shirt on. He's got the hat on, and just looked very happy. I think he's a very young age, 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
And so kind of had grown up a South Carolina fan, but really cool for him yesterday. He checks in as the number 200. He's at 202 nationally overall, regardless of position. He's the number 3 player in the state, and South Carolina now has swept the top 3 players in the state with Cam Pringle, Josiah Thompson, and Kelvin Hunter. They actually have the 4th best player as well out of the state of South Carolina in Mazeo Bennett. So South Carolina, in the state of South Carolina, Shane Beamer's made it a priority, and certainly you've kind of talked about it from your time when you were at the Shrine Bowl, guys kind of coming together to want to play at the same university school.
Bill, this is a long range I told you so from me. But there was a situation where I got where I did an article with the Post and Courier, and I was talking about what maybe South Carolina needed to do to close the gap between us and the upstate. And what I stated was that while the upstate is focusing on getting nationwide recruits, they're in a different level of recruiting than South Carolina was at the time. So if we as the University of South Carolina can just lock down the state, maybe these are some players that the upstate school is not going to necessarily go up because they have their eyes on bigger fish. There's going to be a time when the cycle rolls back around, and when we put those inroads in the state, we'll have another point where we have an explosion of talent in the state. It's cyclical. We know that. And it looks like we're getting to that point where South Carolina is making very strong inroads in this state, locking down this place. And the school in the upstate, while it's great to go get these national recruits, that's fun, but maybe you might need to focus on maybe locking down at home first. And it looks like that's the tide that's turning. But I got killed for that, though. Some people said, that's a loser's mentality and blah, blah, blah. I'm just telling you, getting in with the people in this state not only brings you recruits now, but it makes connections for generations later.
I agree with that. And South Carolina, at least again, has the top 4 prospects in the state of South Carolina. Blake Franks checks in at number 7 as well. So South Carolina doing a really good job. Shane Beamer getting out and holding down. That is where it starts. You got to be able to keep your talent. It's hard with a school like Clemson up the road with the national prominence they've risen to. You have to battle with them, but South Carolina's done a good job. And now also being able to go and raid the state of Maryland as well for a player like Braden Lee, being able to get a guy like Mike Williams. And we'll see what happens with a guy like Dylan Stewart if they are able to pull him off. He's the number 1 player according to Own 3 Sports, number 1 player overall. 803-404-6100 is how you can weigh in this morning. We'll get to more of the handshake conversation. Got to get to some wiffle ball rules. We'll get back into Max Scherzer. South Carolina plays baseball tonight against Florida. Olivia Thompson's going to join us for 2 hours. We got the Corley Pool Solutions Checkered Flag Challenge this morning. You get the point. There's a lot you can weigh in on. A lot to discuss this morning. And you thought we'd have nothing after the spring game. Oh, and spring game hot takes as well. 803-404-6100. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
107.5 The Game on demand podcast menu.
Sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
If you're dealing with injuries or pain, our team is here to get you better sooner.
On the home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
Preston here for Absolute Glass, the premier glass company of the Midlands, offering auto, home, and business glass repair. If your glass is damaged, shattered, cracked, or broken, they can handle the job. Cracked windshields, no problem. They'll come out to your location and replace it for you, usually for free, and they work directly with your insurance to take away the headache. If you're looking to increase the value of your home with new windows or mirrors, Absolute Glass will come out and take care of all of that for you. Windows, mirrors, shower enclosures. As you hear me say all the time, if you can see through it, Ray and Marianne at Absolute Glass can do it. So check them out online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com. That's online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com.
Sponsored by TrainInfo.com. Train heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit TrainInfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. TrainInfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
Sponsored by Midland Air Service Experts. Did you know that HVAC maintenance can help lower greenhouse emissions? That's why they are giving away free precision tune-ups for a limited time. Help the planet and commit to less emit. Call Midland Air Service Experts today at 866-EXPERTS to schedule your HVAC maintenance.
Plus, text second title with approved credit call 888-320-6359 for details. JT's Kia just received nearly 200 new Kias, fresh off the truck, and we're trying to move them quick. So while they last, you can get a spanking new Kia from $18,990. Drive the perfect SUV crossover, the Kia Sorento, for just $239 a month. And your credit problem is no longer a problem when you see JT. Don't miss these deals. Rush to JT's Kia, Killian Commons Parkway, jtskia.com.
Bassmaster is coming to Lake Murray. Come watch the Elite Series Pros and check out the Outdoors Expo, including food trucks, booths, and interactive exhibits. Plus, enjoy live music on Saturday from Christian Bush of Sugarland.
It's already yours.
It'll be fun for the whole family. Save your money on the state park parking fee and take the free shuttle. Be at the Marathon Bassmaster Elite at Lake Murray, April 20th through the 23rd at Deer Island State Park, and catch the fun. Details at Bassmaster.com.
When your business information is missing or inconsistent across the internet, search engines won't find you, and customers won't either. Help ensure customers see you and not your competitors. Boost your findability. CumulusBoost.com. CUMULUS Boost.com.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring sergeants and lieutenants statewide. If you have correctional, security, military, or police experience, you can join SCDC as a sergeant or lieutenant. There's $7,500 sign-on bonuses, increased pay, and great employee benefits available. Start your new year off with a new career. Visit joinscdc.com to apply today or call 803-734-JOBS for more information.
I'm proud to work for Volvo Cars because we're helping build a safer, more sustainable future for everyone. My name is Tamara Thompson. I'm from South Carolina, born and raised in Sumter. I'm a quality launch supervisor at the Volvo Cars plant in Ridgeville. I'm helping build the new Volvo EX90 here. At Volvo Cars, people are at the center. We feel supported, recognized, and feel like we can grow our careers. And we're hiring. Apply now at readysc.org/Volvo.
No manufacturing experience required. Must be 18 years or older with a high school diploma or GED.
It's time to get a hop on your spring cleaning checklist with the help of Zerust Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Right now, mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. Book online at ZerustColumbia.com.
107.5 The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Hey everyone, a good Thursday morning. It's time for another First Alert traffic update. As we're early on here, we have not seen anything causing major issues around the region. Confirmed collisions, big slowdowns on heavily traveled roadways and our interstates. Keep listening along this morning. We work to keep you safe on your travels, let you know of any of those big slowdowns as they occur. This has been a WIS First Alert traffic update. I'm meteorologist Tony Chivaroli.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
The early game
With Bill Gunter, former Gamecock Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen.
on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
Eight 803-404-6100, how you can weigh in this morning as we've got just a whole bunch of topics we're off and running. Olivia Thompson has made her way in. Apparently they don't sell water over at the university, or she doesn't keep some in her dorm. She shows up, she's like, I need another water. Such a such a diva. Like, we bring her in and just ready to, just comes in, needs water, taking pictures out there like the local celebrity she is. But we'll put you on the spot right off the bat. We got a lot of questions that we're on. Have you been listening? Did you bother listening on the way in?
I did not bother listening.
You know we're on the radio as you drive in.
She's a smart girl. I'm so sorry.
Good.
I drove here in silence. It's early. It's early for me. I'm still adjusting. I've been sleeping in until like 10:30 every day, so I'm trying to, I'm just still trying to get used to this getting up early stuff now.
What was you never had an 8 o'clock class? You never had a practice early?
Well, last semester we had 6 a.m. practices every Wednesday, but that ended towards the end of the year. But no, seniors kind of get the princess treatment with classes, so I made a effort not to have an 8:30.
Preston, so the Max Scherzer situation last night. Sticky hands Scherzer. Preston has got a question this morning that we've put out on Twitter. I'll let him ask you. Are you, real quick, are you a handshaker? Are you a handshaker or are you a fist bumper?
I'm a handshaker. I think I need to start getting more into being a fist bumper, just of like all the germs out there,
After this conversation, you're going to be.
So this is a perfect segue. Olivia, you go and shake hands with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You have to shake hands with them. There's no way around this.
Yeah.
Their hand is either A, sticky, or B, moist. Which one do you hate more?
Sticky would probably throw me off a lot. I would have a lot of questions. If it's wet, if it's slightly moist, I would be like, ooh, okay. It's just kind of like, ugh. But you can get over that. If it's sticky, you're gonna be thinking about it the rest of the day, because what is that? It could be
a lot of things.
So many things, and you have no idea. So it's definitely concerning.
Okay. The answer is sticky.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was the big question.
Good breakdown.
We've got good breakdown. Good analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Good analysis. We've got a poll question out there on that this morning because of Max Scherzer yesterday. Are you a baseball fan? Did you grow up with your father? Did y'all get into it, the Braves or anything?
God, no. I mean, I would go to a few Gamecock baseball games just here and there, but I was young. I would never pay attention. I was just, yeah, I don't want to diss baseball too much because it's a great sport if you're actually playing it, but to watch, for me, it's a little brutal to watch.
Well, no, it's a good point because Preston and I have talked about it. It's kind of, what was the other thing I was talking about the other day? The age that you hit where you're just older and you're like, I'm just going fishing. It was fishing where you're just like, I'll go fishing now and like relax and just not talk to anybody. Baseball's that sport, and you're 22. Is that right?
I'm turning 22 this Sunday.
That's what's up.
Congratulations.
Yep,
okay,
so
we just got a run of birthdays here. My son's birthday is today. He turned 11.
Oh, happy birthday!
You're turning 22. I turned 41. In a week and a half or something.
So you were 25.
Thank you. Yeah, it's the gray in the beard that throws you off. That makes me look younger. But the younger generation, I guess I'll say, I don't think it is there for baseball because of what you just said. It's hard to kind of stay engaged for 9 innings. Maybe you can catch a couple innings, and that's why I say if you go to a game, I want to see Max Scherzer. If he's got sticky hands and he's throwing a nasty curveball, I'm still there to watch it. I want to go watch my best players play. I'm not going there just to see the random left fielder who's batting 283 with 2 home runs. I want to see Mike Trout. I want to see Scherzer. I want to see Syndergaard throw. I want to see these players play.
But Bill, he had the stickiest hands this umpire has ever felt in 3 years. This is the stickiest of ever. The stickiest of stickies.
All right, we'll get more into that. Hot takes from the spring game, and several of you weighing in this morning on a couple of things. Marv going bigger hot take. Dow Loggins impresses fans or Dow Loggins displeases the fan base?
Oh,
Think about it. Chew on it. Both of you chew on it. We'll get to some hot takes from the spring game. Couple more weighing in. Johnny weighing in with Lenora Sellers will score 3 touchdowns this season. Doesn't mean throw it, just somehow get 3 touchdowns. Not hot.
That's like mild salsa. That's like Taco Bell sauce.
He's over
mild.
here. Yeah, he's been breaking down what exactly is a good hot take.
That's not super hot.
Okay.
We'll throw a lot at you. I'll get some water for you. We'll get you awake here. We'll get you going. A lot to throw at you this morning as we roll along. Olivia Thompson again in studio with us. Preston Thorne, myself, Jen Jensen. Hour 2 on the way.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
This is Gamecock quarterback Spencer Rattler, and you're listening to 107.5 The Game, the home of the Gamecocks.
A Cumulus media station.
Let's take second title to prove credit call 888-320-6359 for details. JT's Kia just received nearly 200 new Kias fresh off the truck, and we're trying to move them quick. So while they last, you can get a spanking new Kia from $18,990. Drive the perfect SUV crossover, the Kia Sorento, for just $239 a month. And your credit problem is no longer a problem when you see JT. Don't miss these deals. Rush to JT's Kia, Killian Commons Parkway, jtskia.com.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Babbel's interactive lessons are created by real language teachers and voiced by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method. So in no time, you can start speaking confidently about real-life topics in another language.
Nosotras vamos a México en 2 días y ahora hablamos español. Gracias, Babbel. Sí, muchas gracias.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hey guys, Jay Phillips here for Integrated Media. You know, in today's world where technology seems to be moving more quickly than ever, it can get a little confusing on exactly what product might be best for you. And just like your car or house, every so often you need to tune up for quick repair. Integrated Media knows this, and that's why they've introduced their Smart Service Plan. With just one click or call, you can let the crew at Integrated Media know your issue, question, or problem, and usually within minutes, they'll respond with a fix and get you and your family back to watching your favorite teams and shows, listening to your favorite tunes, or playing your favorite games. Additionally, the Integrated Media Smart Service Plan provides customers with regular check-ins to make sure things are running smoothly. Plus, they'll automatically upgrade software so you don't have to worry about whether you're up to date. Integrated Media staff has all the tools necessary to keep your system out front of the ever-changing landscape. Home theater, commercial-grade Wi-Fi, and the service to keep it running smoothly. That's what sets Integrated Media apart from everyone else. 803-948-8327 and online at integratedmediainc.com. Integrated Media, watch, listen, control.
Hey, I'm Jenny Sturm. I'm with Sturmy Plumbing. Call my dad if you have any slow drains, clogged drains, leaky pipes, runny toilets, runny sinks, or no hot water. Call Sturmy Plumbing for all of your service and repair needs. 803-201-2689. At Sturmy Plumbing, where we make your gray skies blue.
This is Lisa with Stormy Plumbing. I look forward to hearing from you. Please call us at 803-201-2689. Thank you.
Not even the most well-kept homes are immune to termites. So call Dodson Pest Control. With over 75 years of experience, they will make sure your home is looking good inside and outside your walls. Visit DodsonBROS.com to find an office near you. Dodson, the pest professionals you trust.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet, winner of the annual Mark of Excellence Award for best-in-class customer experience, and home to the Silverado, the #1 selling retail full-size pickup in America. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Find new roads. The early game.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
Here's the problem with that 9-minute average. Once you run in 9 minutes, you're no longer trotting. You're running.
Yes.
Also a problem.
So this is the cocky trot. I'm going to need you to slow down a little.
With Bill Gunter.
I'm an expert,
yes.
in trotting, and that is not trotting. That is running. Full on, very close to sprinting.
And Jen Jensen.
The theme of this show. I don't know what happened.
On your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
803-404-6100 is how you can weigh in this morning. Olivia Thompson, who will join us from time to time. She's got a big couple weeks, birthday on Sunday. Exams. I walked out of the studio. We're talking about exams are a week away, 2 weeks away?
Yeah, they're a week away.
Week away. How many exams do you have?
Yeah, two.
Are you asking me or are you telling me?
No.
There was like a question mark behind that two.
It's two. It's two. I had to think about that just one more time.
So
yeah.
two more exams, and then will you walk? Are you going to walk, or are you just going?
Yeah, I am. May
What-
6th
May
at 9:30 in the morning, bright and early.
Congratulations!
Thank you
That's
so
a
much.
Saturday, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, right? Yeah, I think that's Well, I know this because Cinco de Mayo is Friday, so
And of course, Bill would know that.
I do know that. Well, that's how. I mean,
Important things.
May 3rd is my birthday.
See?
Cinco de Mayo. Well, then,
Whoa,
and then
no kidding. My dad's birthday is May 3rd.
there you go.
Oh,
Look at
that's
that.
cool.
Couple great
Wow.
men right there. That's
At
see,
least one.
Just
Mr. Thompson.
okay. All right, fine. It's funny how your mic always works and sometimes mine goes out.
Yeah, I know. We have glitchy things that go on in
It
the
is.
studio. I will
Nothing
say.
around here
Am
works.
I the only one that actually thinks exam time is kind of cool?
Elaborate.
I don't know.
think so.
Like I guess the dorm we were in, like the cafeteria would send over snacks, and like we would all just be, do up all night. It just was different. It wasn't I guess the same grind of going to class and doing. I don't know. To me, it was just kind of a cool time. Like we're almost done, and you were hanging out with your friends more because everybody was studying together. I don't know. I kind of liked exam time. I guess I'm weird.
About you, Preston?
Nothing new.
Oh man, exam time was marvelous, especially May because spring practice is over. There's a lot of free time, a lot of time to get into shenanigans. You get 1 or 2 exams, and it's phenomenal time. Yeah, everybody's still on campus. No weightlifting. It's great.
There you go.
See, I think this is the difference between me and these two athletes over here, and then me and you, is that everything you just described was pretty much my whole semester.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. I was with my friends down in 5 Points the majority of the semester, and that's why at the end I was like, oh, I might want to make like a 85 on this to pass this class and not be retaking it next year. So yeah, you've got a busy couple of weeks coming up there with birthdays and walking, and then you're off on vacation. But you're gonna join us from time to time around here and talk a little sports. And we were talking the Max Scherzer situation. So I will ask the serious question: where is the line in baseball in particular? Where is the line for cheating? Because like Gene said on our Firehouse Subs text line earlier, it is kind of ingrained. Like, I don't know what I've grown up playing basketball. I don't know, like the old jokes of like you go to get a rebound and you step on somebody's foot so they can't joke. Or can't jump. Did you ever pull that little stunt?
I never did. I'm not really much of a rebounder. But I never really like to get into all that. But yeah, that's definitely something that my teammates, especially like in high school and AAU, kind of use a lot. They don't really do that in college.
But they don't in basketball doesn't have those like little, to my knowledge, or I don't really remember it, the little kind of unwritten rules that is borderline. I say it is cheating in baseball. This is my morals, where I'm over here like, a little rosin on the base, a little pine tar on the ball. It's perfectly cool. That's what they've done for 100 years. Why would it's in the rule book, Gunner? You don't do it. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Football, there's got to be some minor. They say you can call holding on every play.
Yeah. I mean, every sport has different ways, different things that you're not supposed to do. Especially those offensive linemen. They like to play to the echo of the whistle, and they keep playing even after the whistle is done. And there's all types of little gamesmanships, things that can happen within a game. But baseball is really interesting because it's sort of ingrained in the fabric. And for me, with the whole Astros.
Well, that was over the top, right?
That was over the top, right? So they were beating on trash cans. They were using video equipment. That's a little bit different than somebody just, stealing a sign or picking up a sign where the onus is on you to have good enough signs so that we cannot pick them up. But that's a little bit different than using video equipment or taking it to the next level. So, and that's where this pitcher thing gets interesting, because it's one thing to, spit on your hand a little bit, or, maybe try and rub the ball down with some dirt to try and sand down a little bit. That's very different than using tack and all this sort of substances that they were using. It's just, how wide is your gray area? That's kind of the question.
So where do you two fall on this? Like is if you apparently or Max Scherzer should have been kicked out. She deserves the 10-game suspension. We should smack his hand with a hammer. Like Preston's surprisingly like over the top on this a little bit.
I'm all for cheating until you get caught. And once you get caught, you just got to go serve your punishment, man. You got caught.
All right, Olivia, we're going to test your morals here. Where do you stand on baseball cheating and what Max Scherzer did yesterday? Because he did. I don't think he cheated. That's the other thing. He's saying it's a mixture. You were describing it. Told you to come prepared. You went way over the top. Like as I was walking out to go get you some water, you were describing the mixture of sweat and rosin and what ends up happening there.
Yeah.
You really did some serious research. I didn't worry about your exams next week. You were studying what sweat and rosin does.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on this?
Well, I think if you know that information, that if rosin and sweat mix and become sticky, then that is blatant cheating. And I think you know exactly what you're doing. And even if you try to defend yourself that you didn't know or that you're not cheating, it's still cheating because if you know those two things, it's going to make it sticky, which is not
okay.
good.
So
It's not his first year in baseball either.
Right.
It's not like, oh my God, it just got sticky. I didn't know.
That's like I feel like that's definitely like common info, especially in the baseball community. If like you're cheating, since it's so ingrained in the system. So yeah, I mean, like you said, if you get caught, you gotta serve your time.
But baseball's odd like that though, right? Like we kind of accept it. Like tonight, if Will Sanders got caught with something under his hat, under the bill of his hat, you'd be like, oh, good, we're doing the right thing. We're right. Like you as your team, Florida would be like, oh, they cheaters. So look at those Gamecocks, bunch of cheaters. But if like it's in baseball, that's the weird thing about baseball is that like it's almost kind of ingrained in the sport. Again, don't go out there with like a paper sander and be filing down the baseball or doing stuff like that. There are limits, but it's almost like in baseball, whereas in football, anonymous texter says, are sticky gloves for receivers the same as stick 'em on the hands?
No, because that's given out. So now we've made where the gloves are official and people can use these gloves and everybody has that available to them. Whereas I believe what the anonymous texter is saying before, a little stick 'em on the hand, that was just a thing that people did. But now, this is a whole nother rant, but the gloves enable some of these catches that you see, but those are all issued and it's all legal. So there's nothing wrong with it.
Another anonymous texter just points out as well, and I didn't know this I think I did know this or heard it yesterday. There's been 3 ejections this year.
All the same the same right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
And this guy's also the same one who just said that's the stickiest hands I've seen. So
he likes sticky hands. So it's like when you drive it's like, hey man, you go down this block, there's a police officer there. Don't speed down that block. Max Scherzer knew this guy likes to throw people out for having sticky hands. This might be the game you watch it.
Yeah.
This guy's sticky hands McGee. He doesn't like this.
Steve-O points out rosin and sweat are not banned substances. They're not banned substances now. Mind you, sure, they can, but I mean that's what it's a funny topic because it's baseball and it's Max Scherzer, who is a big name pitcher. Like if this was some random pitcher, we would be discussing this.
Well, and would they even be busting him? That's my other question. Like, is Scherzer, so are they kind of making an example of him if it's a lower level pitcher or somebody that doesn't have the name? Would that consistency still really impact the umpire?
I'll see if I can catch it on TV up here when it comes back, the highlight of it. If you can go back and look, the first time he got checked, the umpire kind of slams the glove back into his chest. Watch if you catch it this morning. If you're watching SportsCenter, you look at this. I'll see if I catch it when it pops back up. But the first time it happens, it's not like, hey, here's your glove back, sir. Thank you for allowing me to do my job. He kind of pops him in the chest with the glove as if take this back and you're on notice. We're keeping an eye on you. Keep an eye on that. Well, I'll see if I can keep an eye up this morning for when that comes back up. We'll get more into that. 803-404-6100. Alan says, Preston, trained sports talk show host, will excuse anything an athlete does on the field. You just allow it. Just not cheating at all. 803-404-6100. Wiffle ball. We'll talk a little bit about that. And also Brad Crawford has got South County going 7-5. I'll break down what he says and get y'all's take on that. You're listening to Preston Thorne. She's Olivia Thompson, Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen. We got the full house this morning. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Got a take?
Hit us up on the Firehouse Subs text line.
Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
803-404-6100.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
Keeping the house clean, especially this time of year, it can be quite the chore. Takes up a lot of your time. You don't have time to get out and play with the kids, do all the things you like to do. That's why I rely upon Zero Res with the patented ZR water technology, scientifically proven. You know what they will not do, Preston and Olivia? They will not leave behind any sticky, soapy residue. That's right. You don't even have to worry about Zero Res committing any violations because they do it the right way with that patented ZR water technology. It doesn't leave behind soap. It doesn't leave behind residue and doesn't leave behind harsh chemicals. The pets, the kids, they can all roll around in the carpet in comfort. So give them a phone call today and take advantage of the spring sale right now. Mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129. Again, mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game when you make that phone call, 803-262-4020, or you can book online with EasyResColumbia.com. The spring sale, get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129 when you mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game. So give them that phone call today, 803-262-4020, or schedule online at EasyResColumbia.com. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
This is Boomer Esiason with CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by WeatherGuard Truck Boxes. If it's a job worth doing, it's a job worth WeatherGuard. Updating 3 Super Bowl quarterbacks' health issues. Patrick Mahomes is still bothered by his high ankle sprain from 13 weeks ago. Matt Stafford is throwing, but he says he's no longer a human jugs machine. And Jalen Hurts had minor ankle surgery in February, but he got a really big contract. I'm Boomer Esiason.
WeatherGuard, the name that stands for unmatched security in truck boxes, is now making a name for itself on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series circuit. WeatherGuard is the official sponsor of the safety and security work crews at Speedway Motorsports tracks across the country. Engineered to meet the demands from job sites to race sites, WeatherGuard truck boxes feature double welded seams, weather-tight seals, and high-security latches and locks. If it's a job worth doing, it's a job worth WeatherGuard. Learn more at weatherguard.com/truck.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sponsored by South Carolina Education Lottery. The Mega Millions jackpot for Friday is $20 million. Be sure to stop by your local South Carolina Education Lottery retailer and get your ticket today. See SCEducationLottery.com for jackpot odds in a store near you.
Plus, text entitled with approved credit call 888-411-7640 for details. Buy a Ram and buy it at JT's Dodge Land on Greystone. We have truckfuls and truckfuls of Rams. South Carolina's truck giant stays stocked. Up to $11,000 off on a new 2022 Bighorn Ram. Or take one for just $359 a month. Save $5,000 on new Durangos, Chargers, and Challengers. Credit concerns? Not with JT. The truck giant says yes, you can. It's Ram Truck Month at JT's Dodge Land on Greystone. JT'sDodge.com.
Boot and hat season is upon us, y'all. Pistol Creek has all those favorites from out west. Boots by Ariat, Justin, Tony Lama, Thoroughgood, Lou Casey, Dan Post, Dingo, and more. Pistol Creek has Columbia's largest selection of boots and hats. Hundreds to choose from. Get one for him and one for her. And don't ignore them little buckaroos. Pistol Creek West, 4350 St. Andrews Road, 10 to 7:30 Monday through Friday, 10 to 6:30 Saturday. Hats and boots for work, play, and every day. Pistol Creek West.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing. And for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Liner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
Wrestling fans, feel the podcast heat. Woo! Join Hall of Fame wrestlers every week, sharing their stories from the past and insights on what's happening now.
Straight Business with Eric Bischoff. Look at some of the early WrestleManias and the effort that went into them and the kind of crowds they attracted. Pontiac Silverdome, for example.
Foley is Pod with Mick Foley.
There is no loss too steep if it makes for good TV.
Yes. Just search Podcast Heat wherever you listen.
Get the right care at the right place. Visit Lexington Medical Center's convenient urgent care centers for minor illnesses and injuries, and use our emergency room for emergencies. Go to lexmed.com/care now to know where to go for the care you need now.
107.5 The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Hey everyone, a good Thursday morning. It's time for another First Alert Traffic Update. As we're early on here, we have not seen anything causing major issues around the region. Confirmed collisions, big slowdowns on heavily traveled roadways and our interstates. Keep listening along this morning. We work to keep you safe on your travels, let you know of any of those big slowdowns as they occur. This has been a WIS First Alert Traffic Update. I'm meteorologist Tony Chivaroli.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
Discover Herndon Certified, Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence knowing Herndon Chevrolet has got you covered.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. The early game
With Bill Gunter, Preston Thorne, and Shen Jensen.
on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
Garrett on our live stream asks, what's worse, sticky hands, moist hands, or the Oakland A's stadium? Oakland A's stadium is pretty much their stadium and Tampa in terms of baseball are the two worst stadiums in sports. Football, baseball, basketball, and that's why actually the Oakland A's have now bought land in Las Vegas, and it appears they're going to be the Las Vegas A's before long.
Yeah, but there's a charm to going into a dump that you know is a dump, sort of like a dive bar type of deal where the floor is a little sticky and there's questionable. I can understand. I can take that in a public place, just not personal.
No,
you know what I'm
the
saying?
A's stadium. What did you prefer to go into if you had to go play in an arena? You like the brand new facility, or did you like? I'm trying to think. Georgia, did the Georgia women play in that barn?
No, Georgia has a really, really nice facility now. Their arena, it's like this dome. It's beautiful. It's very nice. But as far as the question in the live stream goes, I'm still gonna have to take sticky hands. But it is for basketball. It's nicer going to a newer facility.
Yeah.
I will say, just because like floor quality and lighting. But as I kind of agree with you with like an outdoor sport is kind of cool to go to like a older kind of
There's
around the edges place.
No, there's a difference there because Fenway and Wrigley are older, and Lambeau, if you want to throw in that, and they redid Soldier Field, which always used to be a really cool venue, and now I think they wanted to put a dome on it, and there was a whole bunch of stuff.
No,
going on.
actually, they're going to move it.
Yeah, they're just going to literally pick it up
Yeah.
and move it somewhere.
They need to because they can't seem to get the city under control. So I won't go down that path. But
Yeah, we're not going to go down that path. But no, and it kind of circles back to what they may do with Williams-Brice Stadium. If they're talking about this 11-10 project or whatever it's being called with, now they're talking about maybe completely revamping, not rebuilding, but revamping Williams-Brice Stadium, and we'll kind of see how that plays out there with that project that they've got there with the land and still trying to get things. Brad Crawford, speaking of football, has as his predictions, it's to the point it's not way too early anymore, right? We're all in agreement. The way too early predictions are in January, right after the national championship game. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like I was looking yesterday on ESPN, and they've got their way too early top 25 college basketball predictions for next year. Duke, with Kyle Filipowski coming back now, is projected as the number 1 team in the country. Connecticut losing their center, dropped to number 3. But Brad Crawford's got his out. And there's a lot of excitement around the football program. There was a lot of excitement on Saturday night when South Carolina had 1,000 exactly more fans at their spring game than Clemson did. How would it sit with 7-5 for South Carolina, 4-4 in conference play? Let me give you what he's got here. He's got wins over North Carolina, Furman, Mississippi State, Florida, Jacksonville State, Vanderbilt, and Kentucky. Okay, there's your 7 victories. 5 losses. Georgia, understandable. At Tennessee, I think would be one of the question ones. At Missouri, which I think would drive fans insane. Missouri's becoming the new Kentucky on this, where how can we not beat Missouri? Texas A&M on the road, and Clemson at home. That's your 5 losses, 4-4 in conference. Let me read you what he says real quick. He says, after potential program-changing wins in November last fall against Tennessee and Clemson, South Carolina's opportunity to climb in and stay inside the top 25 happens much earlier this fall. The opener against North Carolina is a toss-up, and an SEC opener at Georgia in week 3 will bring heavy interest nationally. Then there's a trip to Neyland Stadium to close out the month. Those 5 weeks are brutal, and this is one of the nation's most challenging slates. Also, will the Gamecocks break their hex against Missouri? They've lost 4 in a row against the Tigers. Olivia, 7-5 next year. You were at the Gamecock Gala on Monday night, and I saw a bunch of very well-dressed people all the way across. Kudos to all of y'all. But even I'm assuming within the campus, the excitement level for football, especially on Saturday night with the spring game, it's as high as I've seen it, Preston, in over a decade. Olivia, you followed it. I mean, you've been to football games. You can sense it.
Yeah.
Like, how do you think it would be taken on campus with 7-5 next year?
I think Brad Crawford's prediction is pretty valid, to be honest. I mean, I wasn't even really aware that we lost 4 years straight to Missouri. And I mean, I just know that it's a tough game every time we play them. Even when we were beating them, it was still just like one of those tooth and nail kind of games. But I think that's valid. I think what Coach Beamer is doing with the program is just amazing. I think what they're doing socially, and just like on their media team to just represent them is like awesome. They're doing a great job, especially of like targeting my generation and like getting those kind of people interested in it. And the way he's been able to like stole a big recruit from Clemson, they're doing a really good job recruiting. I think they're on the up. So I think 7-5 is a comfortable prediction for right now.
So this is an interesting question because every coach, every team says, well, we don't hear about the outside noise. We don't know what's going on. We don't pay attention. Are the players seeing this? Did you all see these types of things? What is those conversations around the talk about your teams?
Oh, yeah. I think we look into it a good bit. And I mean, we just see it. I mean, you go on Twitter and it's there. It's in your face. Like you go on any social media platform and something about your team is right there. And it's so easy to find out stuff and see what people are talking about you. So, I mean, if I saw 7-5 for them, I think that would give them a little bit of like motivation to, kind of put it into drive a little bit. But I still think that 7-5 is I think it's a solid prediction. I can't really say too much about it.
I don't think South Carolina's recruiting at the highest level I've seen them recruit in a long time.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that the windows change when you talk about opportunities, but it feels like after last year, and it feels like the momentum that Shane Beamer has and that the staff has and what they're doing. I mean, they're in the running for a lot of really good players, not just in this class, but in the next class as well. And it feels like this is their window to jump forward. with Spencer Rattler. We got the hot take earlier in, if you want to send yours in, 803-404-6100, that Spencer Rattler would be in New York for the Heisman campaign. I don't want to say that you go 7-5 and that everything's done and that it's a complete failure or anything like that. Anytime you can go to a bowl in the SEC, it's great. But it does feel like this is the opportunity to propel the program, especially with Texas and Oklahoma. This is it. This is it for the SEC as we know it.
Yeah.
This is the last year. Texas, Oklahoma arrive in 2024. Is that right? Am I saying that correctly? Something like that. But the point is they arrive next year and the conference changes. The divisions change. Your schedule changes. Everything changes. And it feels like you need to have that bump going into what is the new era of college football, UCLA and Stanford. I think I saw the other day that the women's, I was going to say your team. I guess you're still with them. I don't know how we were supposed to describe that. But they postponed a trip. The return game with UCLA from this year will actually be next year, not this coming scheduled season, but the following season, so that they can play Stanford and UCLA on the same road trip. And somebody made the comment, when that game occurs, UCLA will be a Big Ten team.
Wow.
I mean, say that out loud.
Wow. Yeah. I did not even.
Like, you'll be playing a Big Ten opponent in Los Angeles at UCLA. I guess my point on this is, like, this is the top 7-5 would not be acceptable this coming season. And I don't think there's a lot of people that would look at it and say, yeah, we'll take that. I think that almost you're looking at this year at 9-3 at minimum, taking that next step forward. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But at some point,
heating up.
Hot take. Hot take.
both of them are looking at me like, "You sure we want to be in the studio with this guy right now?" Like,
let's go.
But you've got to take that step forward.
Yeah.
Olivia, I mean, it was kind of coming off of that loss to, was it Stanford when Aaliyah missed the putback? It was take the next step or else.
Yeah.
And y'all did.
Yeah. That's true. I can't argue with that at all. That's a really good point.
Boy, we got to have you in a lot more with takes like that one right there. Not arguing with me. Good points.
Yeah. No, I agree.
She'll learn.
No, she won't. They're training her properly. I've taken her under my wing, and I'm getting someone who's kind of like my hype man.
Well, here's the deal. If Spencer Rattler is in fact in New York, not just to visit Times Square, but to actually be at a ceremony, then they won't be 7-5. Right? That's fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. Also, to that point, if Spencer Rattler has the touchdowns that one of those takes that was a middle level, this team is going to go as Spencer Rattler goes. Bottom line, plain and simple. And he's going to have a phenomenal season for them to get to double digits, those types of wins. I think, especially with them having nobody established in the running game and them having to replace some of the folks on the offensive line, it's going to be based on Spencer Rattler. And you know what? It should be, because he's a veteran. He's had all the hype. He's come back again. It's time for him to take the team on his back.
So it circles us back to the hot take earlier on Dow Loggins.
Ooh.
More likely to impress the fan base?
At 7-5, it would be disappointing.
Depends. It depends. But that's Dow Loggins. I agree with 7-5. But South Carolina could score 30 points a game, 31 points a game, 32 points a game, and lose like we did in the Brad Scott days, 56-42. Sat through some of those. People were cashing overs left and right. There was a lot of new cars in the parking lot because fans were walking out hitting the over every time we turned around. But it wasn't because of Steve Tannehill and the offense. It was because the defense was giving up 300-yard rushing games to anybody that could walk forward and chew gum and carry a football. Scott Harley still rings very true in my mind. Mo Williams, I think, for Kentucky came in here. I want to say Ernest Grant. I can't remember the running back for Florida that ran for 1 million yards back in the day. The defense has got to step up as well. We'll continue talking about this. Olivia was at the Gamecock Gala on Monday night. We'll get into a little bit of that. Again, a lot of well-dressed people. Good to see some of the pictures from that. We'll talk a little bit about that this morning. Again, if you want to weigh in, 803-404-6100. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Have you missed any of the early game?
You can catch up by going to the early game on demand page at 1075thegame.com.
Or by downloading our 107.5 The Game app on iTunes or Google Play.
Plus, text second title with approved credit call 888-320-6359 for details. JT's Kia just received nearly 200 new Kias fresh off the truck, and we're trying to move them quick. So while they last, you can get a spanking new Kia from $18,990. Drive the perfect SUV crossover, the Kia Sorento, for just $239 a month. And your credit problem is no longer a problem when you see JT. Don't miss these deals. Rush to JT's Kia, Killian Commons Parkway, jtskia.com.
It's time for Pioneer Farm Equipment's Kubota Field Event, our biggest event of the year, on Friday, April 21st in Orangeburg. Don't miss the perfect opportunity to demo Kubota tractors, mowers, and more. Ask about our competitive financing options and receive a coupon for up to $250. Stop by for your coupon giveaways and more, and drive the Kubota that gets the job done at our Kubota Field Event on April 21st, 10 to 2 at Pioneer Farm Equipment, 847 Big Buck Boulevard in Orangeburg.
Hi, everybody. This is Woody Wyndham here to talk about Pioneer Tree Service, Guy Gant's company. Guy Gant's not with us anymore, but his girls are the Gant girls. You know, Chelsea and Madison. You know some of the things they do at Pioneer Tree Service? Tree and shrub removal, tree pruning and thinning, tree planting, tree bracing, raising tree canopies, stump grinding removal, storm damage services, property cleaning and grading, demolition and rock removal, right-of-way maintenance. You got to get in touch with these people. 803-794-8253. Let me give you that again. 803-794-8253. Call right now. Get a free estimate. For the most challenging jobs, Pioneer Tree Service. So you're going to want to call somebody you can trust, and that is the Gant girls at Pioneer Tree Service.
803-794-8253. Or find us online at pioneertreesc.com.
Call Pioneer Tree Service for a free quote.
After being almost $500,000 in tax debt, I was listening to the radio one day and heard a ad for John Ecton Law Firm. So I gave him a call and met with him, and he gave me the confidence to trust him after the reason behind my tax problems anyways was trusting someone I probably should have never trusted. He did everything he said he was going to do, and then some. His staff at the office were great, very knowledgeable. With John's help, I have no tax debt now, and I was able to have a family that otherwise I would have never been able to have.
It's great to know we have changed people's lives for the better. Hi, this is local attorney John Ecton with the Ecton Law Firm. For over a decade, our office has been dedicated to helping hardworking individuals and businesses solve tax problems for good. So if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are facing IRS wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, call our office today at 771-9800 or go to EctonLawFirm.com. That's ECTON lawfirm.com. Let's get your tax problem solved for good. Call today. You'll be glad you did.
The demand for your used car is at an all-time high, and it's never been worth more. Herndon Chevrolet needs your trade. We'll buy your car, even if you don't buy ours. And to prove it, we're willing to beat any written offer by $500. That's right. We'll beat any written offer by $500. Visit Herndon Chevrolet today.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile. Smile.
803-630-5929 for more details. No one likes to talk about the injuries, pain, disability, and lost loved ones that result from terrible car and tractor-trailer accidents. I'm Jason Reynolds. At the Samuels Reynolds Law Firm, we're honored to be the lawyers our clients rely on during their toughest moments.
And I'm Stephen Samuels. When a work injury disrupts your life, I work hard to get you the medical treatment and workers' compensation you depend on.
Samuels Reynolds. True injuries, true lawyers. 803-779-4000.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring sergeants and lieutenants statewide. If you have correctional, security, military, or police experience, you can join SCDC as a sergeant or lieutenant. There's $7,500 sign-on bonuses, increased pay, and great employee benefits available. Start your new year off with a new career. Visit joinscdc.com to apply today or call 803-734-JOBS for more information.
Ever wonder why your business doesn't show up on online search maps, but your competitors do? It's hundreds of things. Things that Cumulus Boost can identify and fix. And that's how we boost your findability. CumulusBoost.com. CUMULUS Boost.com.
Hey everyone, a good Thursday morning. It's time for another First Alert traffic update. As we're early on here, we have not seen anything causing major issues around the region. Confirmed collisions, big slowdowns on heavily traveled roadways and our interstates. Keep listening along this morning. We work to keep you safe on your travels, let you know of any of those big slowdowns as they occur. This has been a WIS First Alert traffic update. I'm meteorologist Tony Chivaroli.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
(803-404-6100). Yesterday, we got into a little bit of discussion, and we'll kind of carry it on today. Coming up in about an hour, though, we'll catch up with Carrie Tharp, Corley Pool Solutions, Checkered Flag Challenge. We'll indoctrinate Olivia into our NASCAR discussion. I asked Olivia, I was like, you follow NASCAR? There was not a whole lot behind that answer, though. So we'll teach you. Preston's learning. I'm a two-time champion of our pick'em contest. Carrie, who else is? It's on the trophy out there. Jen, who else is? Reggie won last year.
You've won twice, and Carrie won once.
Jen also makes picks, and you'll notice her name was not on the champions list that she just mentioned.
Okay, whatever. I'm back.
She's ready to fight the whole system in there. Nothing around here works. The lights don't work. Occasionally the mics work. Her 92 computers in there don't work.
Exactly. Not a good morning. Sorry about that.
She's grumpy. Wiffle ball. We'll get to the Gamecock Gala stuff as well. Did you play wiffle ball growing up? Like just going out in the yard with kids, just picking up, did you play wiffle ball?
Absolutely. I've got some good stories when it comes to wiffle ball.
Okay.
I was waiting for this question.
Yeah, you were. You're very fired up. So, all right, let's just start with the ghost runner rule. Ghost runner on second. Can a ghost runner score on a single?
In wiffle ball?
Yeah.
They try really hard.
The ghost runner? You know what a ghost runner is?
No.
I'll let you explain it.
It's ghost runners when you don't have enough folks to play. And so say if you're playing 2-on-2 wiffle ball or something along those lines, obviously one person has to bat, but you need somebody to be out there running.
Right.
So you have a ghost runner, and the ghost runner moves according to what happens on the play.
Oh, can the ghost runner score on a single? No.
See, this is going to be our first major disagreement, Liv. It all depends on where the single is, who your supposed ghost runner is. I position that a ghost runner can score from second on a single. You say no.
Yeah, I just feel like they should kind of do their job and let the other people just make those choices. If it's a teammate, an actual teammate on second, then by all means, if you can make a run happen.
So it's a big debate with the ghost runner there because that creates a lot of arguments in wiffle ball.
If it's out in the outfield, they absolutely should be able to. The ghost runner should be able to advance.
But is that based on what the ghost runner does, or is that based on what you do pushing the player forward, if that makes sense? So because you said 2-on-2. Have y'all ever I'm sure y'all did this at some point as kids. Like you grew up and you played 1-on-1 wiffle ball.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
You played a little 1-on-1, like just kids getting outside. We're pretty sure kids don't do that anymore. Yesterday I asked Austin if he'd ever played wiffle ball, and he looked at me again like I asked him a very inappropriate question.
But if you're playing 1-on-1, then yeah, you're hitting the ball. You run to first base, then your ghost runner is on the base, so you can go back and hit again.
Right. Or in 2-on-2, if you hit a single, you're standing on first. Your teammate hits one. He or she hits a single. So now you got first and second, but you've got to go back. So your ghost runner is taking second. And now you hit a long single to the outfield. Are you going to argue that? So technically it would be bases loaded. Are you going to argue that ghost runner would have made it all the way around?
Here's my argument to end it once and for all.
I'll just tell you this from my standpoint. If it's my ghost runner and I'm on second and I hit, and now I've had to go back and I hit, and I get a base hit and it's only a single, my ghost runner from second would have scored with my speed.
Oh,
see,
yeah,
there you go. There you
exactly.
go.
It would have pulled a hamstring in the halfway through, though.
I didn't say what age my ghost runner had become. 17-year-old Bill had pretty good speed. 41-year-old Bill.
You were low to the ground, so you could, you can move that.
I'm going to keep moving with that one. I'll keep moving on from that one. Yeah, no, I was. Fast is what you meant. Aren't the NASCARs that they're supposed to be lower to the ground for speed, stability,
downforce?
That was me.
Yeah,
you're a NASCAR.
Yeah.
See how I tied it all together right there.
A lot of downforce.
Where were you going with that?
You said you had some stories about wiffle ball, so you played wiffle ball growing up.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you?
So much fun.
Yeah?
I loved wiffle ball. Yeah, I would do it for like birthday parties. I would do it just like on some nice summer days. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Wiffle ball with the long yellow bat, big red bat. What was your tool of choice?
Ooh. It was like more of a skinny one.
Skinny one.
We had like a skinnier black one.
Mhm.
So that was the one that we used.
Did you use the regular size balls or the little golf balls?
Switched it up. So normally, I think we kind of use like the bigger ones though.
Mhm.
They didn't go as far,
Mhm.
unfortunately. But yeah.
Did you ever tape the ball?
No. Oh,
Mhm.
that's a good.
It's a little bit
good
of
trick.
Max Scherzer action there. You tape the ball up a little bit,
Yeah.
so you get a little bit of extra movement.
You get hit with one of those taped up balls. You've got a souvenir for about 4 days. Nice little welt that shows up. I think I've told the story. Now, did y'all ever play in wiffle ball? Because again, two versus two, 3 versus 3, where you could, if you pick it up, guys running from first to second. If you peg them with the ball, they're out.
No doubt. That's easy. Yeah, that's fundamental.
sure.
Okay, that carried over to an actual baseball game for me one time.
Solid.
I drilled a kid in the back going from second to third. I was playing shortstop and the ball came to me and a kid just ran right in front of me. And this was like coach's pitch. Like this wasn't like Pony League or something. And I just reared back and my wiffle ball instincts took over and the kid ran right in front of me. And I'd been playing. I just picked it up and just pegged him square between the shoulder blades. He went down. We tagged him out. But I came to the dugout. My dad was like, What did you just do?
That's one way to do it. Hey, listen.
That's interesting.
Nothing wrong with it.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Do what you got to do. 803-404-6100. We'll come back. We'll get into a little bit of the Gamecock Gala a little bit, continue the wiffle ball discussion.
Moist
And
or sticky?
I was going to say, I've got to get an update. John Frew weighs in and says, you just bust out the hand sanitizer right afterwards.
That's disrespectful.
You just
don't shake my hand and then let me see you walk away putting hand sanitizer on you. That's disrespectful.
Is it?
Yeah, man. What you doing?
Yeah.
I saw you.
If you're shaking hands with somebody moist or sticky hands, and then I got to get to a question for Olivia. Bailey Harris has asked us about the shooting question. Darius, yourself, or me? Who's the best? I can eliminate one of those very quickly. It's neither you or Darius. 803-404-6100. You're listening to the early game. I 107.5 The Game.
Got something to say?
Ring us up on the Love Chevy phone line. South Carolina's #1 volume Chevy dealer.
At 803-404-6100.
Your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Lowe's. Hurry and shop the final days of Spring Fest at Lowe's and get the best values of the season before they're gone. Save big on the Eagle 15-inch string trimmer. It was $219, now it's $199. Shop Lowe's today. Valid through 4/26. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Life matters. The internet is an amazing thing. Recently, I downloaded detailed directions to an address in a state I'd never visited in my life. All I had to do was read and obey. No muss, no fuss. I knew exactly how many miles I needed to travel and even knew how much time to allow for the trip. It didn't matter that the terrain was unfamiliar or even that I was alone and unable to get a second opinion. I could trust my directions and they were perfect. I arrived intact at my destination and even enjoyed the trip as it became more evident that my instructions were trustworthy. My trip reminded me of my experience with the Bible. God has given this special book to us to enable us to successfully and happily complete a journey called life. The longer you follow, the more confident you become that God and His book can be trusted. This is Stephen Chitty. Visit us on the web at ChristianLifeColumbia.com. And remember, life matters, and so do you. Go to CLColumbia.com for in-person and live streaming service times.
Plus, takes entitled with approved credit. Call 888-411-7640 for details. Buy a Ram and buy it at JT's Dodge Land on Greystone. We have truckfuls and truckfuls of Rams. South Carolina's truck giant stays stocked. Up to $11,000 off on a new 2022 Bighorn Ram. Or take one for just $359 a month. Save $5,000 on new Durangos, Chargers, and Challengers. Credit concerns? Not with JT. The truck giant says yes, you can. It's Ram Truck Month at JT's Dodge Land on Greystone. JT'sDodge.com.
Uneven sidewalks, pool decks, or patios? Canty can repair them for just a fraction of the cost of replacement. Call Canty Foundation Specialists today for your free estimate.
Canty can fix it.
Uneven concrete can be a dangerous tripping hazard leading to injury. Call the experts at Canty to permanently repair your sinking or cracked concrete. Call 753-1495 or visit CantyCanFixIt.com. Canty can fix it.
You can pick out every detail of your remodel.
That one. Or that one?
That one. No, wait, that one. But you never really know what it will look like until...
Well...
not what I imagined. CHW Cabinetry understands. Not being able to visualize what your new space will look like can be stressful, but our photorealistic renderings leave nothing to the imagination, and our job site book makes sure everyone's on the same page. Literally, learn more at chwcabinetry.com. CHW Cabinetry. Passion from inspiration to installation.
Bill Gunner here for AAA Heating and Air. They were out at my house recently installing my brand new system, and I couldn't be more pleased with it. I'm telling you what, AAA Heating and Air, with their experienced professional technicians, I have taken care of my family, and they'll do the same for you. Right now, 0% financing, a $1,500 buyback, and a 15-year parts and labor warranty. Contact AAA Heating and Air today, 803-677-1500. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
It's time to get a hop on your spring cleaning checklist with the help of Zerust Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Right now, mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. Book online at ZerustColumbia.com. Spring and summer are just around the corner, and that means enjoying your backyard pool. But don't let it be dirty. It's time to contact Corley Pool Solutions, 803-445-8109. They will inspect your pool equipment weekly to make sure it's operating properly. They will test, treat, and maintain, and they'll do it all at a flat rate cost, and that includes the chemicals. It's actually more affordable for you to use Corley Pool Solutions than to go to the pool store yourself. So call them today, 803-445-8109.
Get the right care at the right place. Visit Lexington Medical Center's convenient urgent care centers for minor illnesses and injuries, and use our emergency room for emergencies. Go to lexmed.com/care now to know where to go for the care you need now.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Take a look at your traffic conditions out there this morning. We've got Piney Grove at St. Andrews Road. Also, St. Andrews at I-26 seems to be an issue there, slowing traffic down. So be careful out there this morning. Nice and warm for the next few days. 88 for the high today. 86 tomorrow. Could see some thunderstorms around on Saturday and a high of 80. It's 53 right now at 107.5 The Game.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
The early game
With Bill Gunter, Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen
on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
$7:50 on a Thursday morning. Don't go down my path, Olivia. People called me Bill at Lexington. I went to college. I was William. Came here. I got on Twitter. Went with Will with one L, which I actually like. Kind of wish I'd have stuck with that one initially. I feel like that's unique and different. During the break, because Bailey Harris, who coached me and you're familiar with, had a really good question that I'm going to ask you here. And he called you Liv. And so I said, well, what do you want us to call you on air? Olivia, Liv? And you said, well, my friends call me Liv. You guys are my friends. So now you're friends with all of Columbia. So we'll just call you Liv. Is that?
That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Making sure we don't offend anybody.
Thanks.
And we also learned during the break, don't play Daddy Thompson and don't play Daughter Thompson in any sports. They will take you down.
Yeah, it's fierce. We're aggressive.
Are you two like you and your dad, you've talked about your relationship with him, like your mom basically just stays out of it, right? Like she's like, does she have to referee you two if you two get involved in a checkers match, or if you two start playing like neighborhood kids around the block? Does she have to come out and be like,
My mom is definitely our piece. You know, she's our mediator. But yeah, me and my dad, we go at it. We're just very competitive, and but when we're teammates, we take down some people.
What's the silliest thing you've ever been competitive at? You know, like checkers, or is there anything you would not compete in?
Anything I would not compete in?
Mm-hmm.
No, I love a good competition. If I know that I'm pretty bad at something, I'm probably gonna refrain from competing in it,
Mhm.
just because I also am a sore loser.
That's a great mix. Hyper competitive, sore loser. They're usually right together with each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean that goes for both me and my dad. So when we get into it, it can get a little feisty. But we were talking about wiffle ball, and when I was a kid, I was in middle school, and I had a good friend who played softball at the time, and she came over. It was just me and her, and my dad was there, so he could be like our pitcher / ghost runner kind of thing. It was just that's how we did it. But we go out there, we're in the field playing, and I am killing her, like just going at her. And I mean, in this time period, I was pretty deep in basketball. I had just started my basketball training. But I was on the line if I wanted to play softball or not. So this was kind of like, I was kind of feeling myself. I was like, oh, if I can beat a softball player at wiffle ball like this, then I'm cool. So I just started going in. Like I was getting all excited. I was getting competitive, and I was going in on her. And my mom walks out of the house. I think she was already up there with us, maybe. And she pulls me aside and is like, I will give you money to take it easy on her. Like, please. Like, just I will give you money if you just cut it down a little bit. And I really didn't want to. Even after hearing that,
Your money's no good here. I must continue commence with this whooping.
I'm your this is how my kids are. I'm your daughter. I'm getting your money anyway. You're gonna buy what I want. It doesn't. You offering me money doesn't work right now.
I am in a zone. Let me do my thing.
I must commence.
But I did.
Are you a trash talker?
I am. Yeah, I am. Especially me and my dad. We would go out there on that blacktop and just rip each other to shreds. It was.
Are you a big trash talker?
No, not particularly. Not particularly. Never. No, not really.
It's different in football and basketball, because football, it feels like it just doesn't work. I see it with the defensive backs and wide receivers.
Yeah,
but it feels like in basketball, it's just constant communication. Like I don't know how to explain it. The few times I've played.
Well, there's an easy way to explain this, Bill. The trash talk comes in sports where people can't touch each other, right? So the wide receivers and DBs, they're talking trash because they can't touch each other. There's a penalty if I hold you. It's a penalty if I push off. I have to see this person next play, and he's trying to pound my face in the sand. I don't want to mess with that.
Is there a lot of trash talk on the line of scrimmage? It's more with the little skill athletes, right?
Of course, because they're like little chihuahuas. Just beep, 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 but they don't want to do anything. I actually have to put hands on this person in front of me. And also, you have the temperament of the big guys. We're trying to just catch my breath. I don't have a chance to actually talk. I'm just focused on breathing. So a little less trash talk in the trenches.
Yeah, any mic'd up I've seen of football players, the O linemen are always like mute, or just like the nicest people you've ever seen. And they're just like doing their thing, hitting people, but then you see like the DBs are just like going in.
Always.
The DBs are the worst, right? They're the ones that just talk more. It's like they draw the wide receivers in.
Both of those are very volatile personality
and
types.
running backs don't say anything at all because they're coming through the hole and they're like,
Right.
Let's not upset anybody.
Yeah, wide receivers and DBs, volatile personalities for sure.
We'll continue discussing this. Olivia hanging around with us another hour. We're going to introduce her to some NASCAR. We're going to get back into the wiffle ball, get back into a little bit of that discussion. The poll question is out, and it is actually kind of tightened up there a little bit. You go to shake hands with somebody, and it's an uncomfortable feeling. What is worse, their hands are sticky or moist? Sticky, 50.8%. Moist, 49.2%.
It's closer than I want it to be.
There's the competitive coming out right there. She wants her answer of sticky to lead the way. I like the competitiveness. We'll continue trash talking, rolling along. I even got the putter in here. Test Olivia's skills with a putter this morning. It's the early game. 107.5 The Game.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
This is Gamecock quarterback Spencer Rattler, and you're listening to 107.5 The Game, the home of the Gamecocks.
A Cumulus media station.
Text entitled with approved credit call 866-243-4623 for details. JT means Jeeps and trucks. The biggest Jeep and truck selection in South Carolina is at JT's Jeep Ram Lexington. Get your new 2023 Jeep Wrangler now. Save $5,000 off. Cherokee, Grand Cherokee, Compass, Wagoneer. New Jeeps up to $7,500 off. New Rams up to $11,000 off. Shaky credit, don't sweat it. JT says you're approved. JT means Jeeps and trucks. 378 Lexington. JT'sJeepRam.com. Jeep celebration.
Can you imagine a rainbow of flowers?
In a crystal blue sky.
Filled with music.
And all your friends are there.
And everyone is laughing with joy.
And the whole world is clean and sparkling and singing like Pavarotti.
Put on your wings and fly.
Invite us to your house.
We'll only be there a few minutes.
Our clean and shiny trucks haul away your distractions.
And leave your home sparkling with joy.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
STD Awareness Month is observed annually during the month of April. Get yourself tested. This is an opportunity to raise awareness and reduce STD-related stigmas. To learn more about STDs and to find a testing center near you, visit scdhec.gov/STD info or call the HIV STD hotline at 1-800-322-AIDS, 1-800-322-2437. Remember, get yourself tested.
I'm proud to work for Volvo Cars because we're helping build a safer, more sustainable future for everyone. My name is Tamara Thompson. I'm from South Carolina, born and raised in Sumter. I'm a quality launch supervisor at the Volvo Cars plant in Ridgefield. I'm helping build a new Volvo EX90 here. At Volvo Cars, people are at the center. We feel supported, recognized, and feel like we can grow our careers. And we're hiring. Apply now at readysc.org/Volvo.
No manufacturing experience required. Must be 18 years or older with a high school diploma or GED.
Larry Lightner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing. And for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Liner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate
Locally owned Atlantic Windows and Doors has been making Columbia area homes more comfortable, attractive, weather-tight, and energy efficient for over 35 years. How? By distributing products from the best window and door manufacturers in the country. These products give you the best looks, the best quality, and the best value, all based on your specific needs. And everything is professionally installed by their dedicated and experienced employees, not subcontractors. Atlantic Windows and Doors. Visit them online at awdsc.com.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet, celebrating the incomparable Silverado. For the first time in history, the #1 selling retail full-size pickup in America. Find yours at South Carolina's #1 volume Chevy dealer. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Find new roads. The early game
with Bill Gunter.
South Carolina will be getting ready. The baseball team will be getting ready for a series that weekend against what? Oh, no. The problem is I'm looking at April. That's why there's no March 20. That's why there's no March. That's why there's no Friday the 24th.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne and Jen Jensen.
That would explain exactly. I was like, what is wrong with this calendar? Like, why is there no? There was a Friday the 21st and a Friday the 28th, and I was like, this is not adding up at all.
On your home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
8:01 on a Thursday morning. Bill Gunner, Preston Thorne, Olivia Thompson, Jen Jensen, having a lot of fun this morning, cutting up on all kinds of different topics. Enjoy having Olivia in because she just posed an interesting question. I have nothing written down on this subject, but I'll get to that. On Olivia asking, is sports betting ruining professional sports? I mean, you can make the case collegiate sports because you can go either way with that. But it's an interesting question. We might throw that out there a little bit this morning, given that I've got two athletes here, and then I have been known to dabble in the financial stakes of games. And then we're also talking about competitive spirits. Preston, were you a wildly competitive, because Olivia and I think are very similar in this. I was telling y'all the story off air about the time my father beat me in like third or fourth grade in basketball outside, and we didn't talk for 2 weeks. And my mom finally sat both of us down in the living room and was like, hey, I don't know if you two are aware, you're related and you're going to have to know each other for a long time. You two should probably speak. I was also that kid, as I told y'all, and y'all laugh, we would lose. I'd lose like a little league baseball game or basketball game and cry afterwards. I didn't handle losing well at all, which is possibly why I brag about winning NASCAR a lot. But were you an overly competitive kid growing up?
Yeah, I mean, I was super competitive. Pretty shamefully competitive, but I just like winning. So I don't know. I won a lot too. So I don't know how that sort of shook out. I was always kind of like, I can't believe I just lost. That's strange.
Is it? All right, let's go down. Let's go back into what we did a week ago and go back into a parenting conversation for a second. Where is the line between having your child be competitive and your child being overly competitive? Because I'm trying to draw that with my son right now, where not just for sports purposes, but he's going to go out into the world one day. He's going to compete for jobs. And I want him to take it seriously, to be prepared, to understand that you're not just going to walk into an office building and they're going to hand you a job. You're going to have to go compete with other people going for that job. So I don't look at it from a sports standpoint of oh, you lost a basketball game or you lost a baseball game, whatever it may be. It's that you learn from it, but I want you to care a lot about losing. But where is the line in the sand we draw as parents?
I think it's very subjective, and it's also very situational when it comes that line between being just simply competitive and wanting to win, and then being over competitive to the point where you're doing too much.
Take us behind the curtain for a second with your teams that you've played on the last few years. We see you at the Gamecock Gala dressed up, the hair, the makeup, the eyelashes. Preston and I talked about it during the Final Four with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and some of them. And we said that, especially in women's basketball, we don't expect y'all to be trash talkers. We don't. That's not right. That's I guess to go back and phrase how we were kind of putting it. It was awesome to see, because one thing we said about the women's game is you're getting people who stay 3 years, and you get to see their personalities and you get to see the competitiveness, and you watch it because you might completely dislike Angel Reese, but you're going to watch because you want to see her lose. But that's a competitive streak that she has. Take me behind the curtain of what we saw with y'all and how competitive the women on y'all's team were.
Yeah, we're extremely competitive. Every day of practice is like war. If we did anything against each other, I mean, we have practice guys who come in who they play basketball in high school, and they're just they actually have to bring film. Our practice guys have to show one of our coaches
highlighters, right?
A mixtape. Yes, the
Mhm.
highlighters. They have to show them a highlight mixtape for them to be on the practice squad, which I think is awesome. So they're great at basketball, and we go at their necks. When we go against each other, things can get a little testy because they don't call fouls. When we go against each other, it is literally war. But with the practice guys, we have a coach involved, kind of mediating fouls and stuff like that. I mean, he doesn't see everything. He misses some stuff here and there, but for the most part, he regulates us a little bit. But it's ultra competitive.
So what's the thing that happens in basketball where it's okay, this is just a normal practice, another 6 a.m. We're just trying to get through practice, and then all of a sudden, we're cranked into it. What are some of the things that can happen in a basketball practice that makes everybody say, "Oh, this for real?"
Yeah, I think once someone puts that shoulder into a chest and a drive, and then screams and one, a foul or something like that, I think that's when the switch flips, and you're just kind of like, oh, okay, word, like that's what we're doing, and then I mean from there it just skyrockets, like rebounds, you're just like ripping it out of people's hands, and it's just it gets a little violent, but I mean they have to stop it every so often and be like, okay, guys, let's take a breather. Everyone loves each other here, right? And then as soon as it's back into it, I mean, but that shoulder going into a chest on a drive to a basket, that'll do it every time.
So that's what it is. It's
Yeah,
like,
with
okay, I
a-
thought we were just practicing here.
Yeah.
Now you put your shoulder in my chest. Now it's on.
with the added like scream or yell to go with it, like
Mhm.
that combo is gonna do it every time.
See, I can't speak to what Liv is saying in terms of college, but I played on a really fun high school team with Coach Harris, and we were great friends off the court. But when we stepped on the court, I mean, I'll never forget one of my team, a good friend of mine, a really good friend of mine. I won't say his name right now. 2 hands shoving me into the bleachers on an open layup.
Nah.
And like that was the kind of thing, like, but we were always like extra competitive. And you say that, and I don't know, just kind of like what you just said. It's a Wednesday practice. It's been a long season. Everybody's a little grumpy, but you're trying to survive. And then all of a sudden, like somebody kind of shoves you a little bit too hard. And the next thing you know, you're having words with them and they're having words with you. And now you line back up. That's the way I always saw it is when I played sports is it starts off and then it's just something as simple as, you hit a great shot and you slap your defender on the back and be like, next time, buddy, good luck, and then all of a sudden that escalates the situation. I never saw it as like a physical thing because you understood it was practice, but it was just words. It was just simple words of like, you make a great play. And the next thing you know, you kind of little flex, little smile, little kiss blown, something. And then all of a sudden somebody's like, oh, okay. I see that it's not going to be the same anymore. Here we go. I'll ask both of you, like, you look at your life now, you're younger than us. I've tried to scale it back personally a little bit in terms of competitiveness because I don't want to be the 40-year-old that gets beat by my son and then he has to console me while I cry. But like you look at the way you were raised and how competitive you are. Do you say, okay, that's how I want to do it with my child? Or are you kind of would y'all have something different? Whereas I'm kind of now looking at Austin going, okay, maybe I'm a little over the top. Maybe I shouldn't be Frank Martin at a 10-year-old's like basketball game.
Yeah, this is really interesting because I think me being obviously older than you, Olivia, I'm always interested in how young athletes figure out that balance when you enter into the world as a civilian because the rest of the world does not have that sick twitch in their mind that you do, that you had to just have to simply survive on those 6 a.m. practices or things of that nature. And so it's gonna be really interesting. I'm looking forward to hearing from you as you sort of navigate through the world and people maybe don't have the same competitive drive that you have, or you see things you like, it kind of drives you crazy at a certain period. But for me, you kind of have to learn how to just dial it down or even just sort of just let that part of your personality go because some things are very healthy and function in one environment, but that environment does not exist everywhere else. And so you can't be football Preston in the rest of the world because that's not beneficial to everything.
Right.
But I'll go back, like you mentioned, I was sitting here, I'm playing in a golf tournament in a little while and was sitting here hitting a couple golf balls and kind of practicing putting. And you said, oh, I don't think I could do that because you're so competitive. You don't handle failure well. And there does have to be a level of handling failure that comes with being competitive, right? That's what we have to kind of teach our children is it's great to be competitive. You also have to know how to handle some form of failure.
Yeah. It's very in the moment for me though. Like I went to a driving range a couple weeks ago. And I thought, I've been to Top Golf. I'm like, I was pretty good there. I thought I would be okay at a driving range. It's totally different for some odd reason. I went to that driving range and it was just crap. I was just terrible. And there was this whole bucket of golf balls. And I was like, I just can't. Like, I am going to lose control. If I have to do this anymore, I'm going to lose it. So I just had to sit down. I had to be like, look, someone else finish these. I can't do it. But I mean, once I'm out of that situation though, I'm much better. Like once I leave and it's behind me, I'm better. But I say my competitiveness is very in the moment, is very just like spontaneous.
Yeah, and to your point, Bill, I think it's when you're talking about with our kids growing up, I think we have to teach them to learn to love to compete. Oftentimes we teach them to love to win and they're scared of losing also, but loving to compete, the joy in sports is for the competition.
Right.
Whether you win or lose, that's in the balance. We don't know how that works out. But I think a lot of times what we often focus on is our kids get so used to the feeling of winning and they get that feeling. And that's not necessarily loving to compete. Loving to compete is a different thing altogether.
You gotta be okay with, you gotta be satisfied with losing, but knowing that you put everything into it.
Right.
You know, you gotta put 100% into everything you do, even if you don't get the outcome you want. So you just gotta learn how to be satisfied with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Still, I like, to an extent, pushing people's buttons, especially when I play. And so so when I run into someone, see, you're more laid back, Preston. You're analytical. You're laid back, at least what I've seen so far.
Yeah, but this is after years of
well, that's true.
That person.
But I'm still that person where like I still have a belief in myself at 40 that we can go on the basketball court and she has no chance. And I also have a belief in myself that she's going to know that she has no chance. It's poor Jen's the one that has to deal with it because of the NASCAR stuff all the time. Because I love just running it's going to get me killed one day. Somebody's going to haul off and just, it's amazing that I've gone 40 years. It's partially surprising Jen hasn't taken this putter behind me and wrapped it around my head a few times. But
I don't know what you mean.
It is. Yeah. Just visions of it. Jen's sometimes in there just drawing pictures of her smacking you with a golf club. But that is me. And I think that comes from my upbringing of like I was ultra competitive in baseball and basketball and anything else I competed of. Let me get to some of these things that are brought up here. I'm going to read you this text because it mentions a family member of yours, but I don't quite understand it. It just says 30 years ago tomorrow, Olivia's grandfather delivered my son. He had an absolute fit when he lost to his father in a Little Tykes basketball game at age 2. So your grandfather, I guess, a doctor?
Yes. Yep. I hear this a lot. It'll be like random people like who I've never met before be like, oh, your grandfather delivered me. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. But that's, yeah.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Cool.
Right.
And then you shake their hand. And in this situation.
And then it's sticky. Their hand's sticky. And it's like, what the heck?
Day says sticky is much worse. If their hand is moist, then there's a 95% chance it's just sweat. If it's sticky, who the heck knows what that is?
Yep. My point exactly.
Will asks, ask Liv, who is the best trash talker on the women's team?
Zaya Cook.
Without question.
Without a question. Zaya's hilarious. Zaya's so funny. She got into it. It was kind of subtle, but she got into it with a Kentucky player during a game at home. This was last year. And she was giving her the works. On the court and with her mouth. So yeah, it's very entertaining.
803-404-6100. Real quick. Greg says Ghost Runner can only advance as far as the hitter. Example, if the hitter hits a single, Ghost Runner can only advance one base. Double means
playing small ball here.
That's right. Gotta bunt him around. Gotta bunt that Ghost Runner around. Steve and Blythewood, 2-on-2. The pitcher is the first baseman. If you get to the pitcher before the hitter gets to first, he's out. Correct? Did y'all get that? The pitcher is the first baseman. If you get it to the pitcher before the hitter gets, so you see what I'm saying? He's standing, pitcher standing it there, and you got to get it back to him.
I got you.
Instead of the first. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Are y'all with him on that? Okay,
fair.
Got a bunch in there. So 803-404-6100 and one more. Alan says bases loaded, Ghost Runner at third, single, Ghost Runner from third scores. That answers it. So everybody's saying, and I feel like you were disagreeing with it. Whatever you run, that's how many bases the Ghost Runner gets to advance.
I have one rebuttal for this argument.
Save it. We'll come when we come back. We'll get into it. We'll let Preston have his rebuttal. I still want to get to some of the Gamecock Gala stuff. Plenty to get to this morning as we roll along. Olivia Thompson, Liv Thompson, in with us. She's going to be part of the program moving forward. We're excited to have her kind of around as she graduates and moves on into the real world. Who knows? Maybe she'll end up taking my place. She's competitive and just sees me as a target now. 803-404.
Okay, what?
Oh, that got your attention, huh? Yeah, I bet it did. Yeah.
I need a smile.
You did. We've gotten you smiling in this segment. 803-404-6100 is the early game on 107.5 The Game.
We are very social.
At 107.5 The Game on Twitter, 107.5 The Game on Instagram, and 107.5 The Game on Facebook.
Oh, Teddy, did you get my friend request? I'll have to check.
Your home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
This is Boomer Esiason with CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Wrangler. It's Wrangler season out there. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles. Buffalo's Josh Allen is maturing, folks. I've always had the mindset of I've been a football player first and a quarterback second. At some point, that's going to have to switch, he said, adding, I guess I'll let my body tell me. What he's going through is a refinement process, folks. I'm Boomer Esiason.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights, open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Online at CordellCordell.com. 1201 Main Street, Suite 840, Columbia, South Carolina, 29201. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Do you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes? Good news. There's a new way out. It's called the Fresh Start Initiative. Call U.S. Tax Shield, A+ rated with the BBB. 800-391-5063 for your free consultation, and let U.S. Tax Shield protect you from the IRS.
Sponsored by Summit Racing. Summit Racing has parts and accessories to keep your truck rolling right. Parts like lift kits, intakes, exhaust, tires, lighting, and more. From custom grills to tonneau covers, Summit Racing has you covered. SummitRacing.com. Everything you need for anything you drive.
Hi, my name is John, and I'm self-employed, and we got sidetracked on our taxes at the 2008 recession, and it became a monster that we couldn't tackle ourselves. We heard about the Ecton Law Firm on the radio and contacted John. If you could classify someone as a miracle worker, I would put him at the top of the list because he took our problem and resolved it for us with our not only our unpaid taxes, but our unfiled tax returns from previous years. And I would highly recommend the Ecton Law Firm.
It's great to know we have changed people's lives for the better. Hi, this is local attorney John Ecton with the Ecton Law Firm. For over a decade, our office has been dedicated to helping hardworking individuals and businesses solve tax problems for good. So if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are facing IRS wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, call our office today at 771-9800 or go to EctonLawFirm.com. That's ECTON lawfirm.com. Let's get your tax problem solved for good. Call today. You'll be glad you did.
Let's text and title with approved credit call 866-243-4623 for details. JT means Jeeps and trucks. The biggest Jeep and truck selection in South Carolina is at JT's Jeep Ram Lexington. Get your new 2023 Jeep Wrangler now. Save $5,000 off. Cherokee, Grand Cherokee, Compass, Wagoneer. New Jeeps up to $7,500 off. New Rams up to $11,000 off. Shaky credit, don't sweat it. JT says you're approved. JT means Jeeps and trucks. 378 Lexington. JT'sJeepRam.com. Jeep celebration event.
At the Samuels Reynolds Law Firm, we know how serious injuries change people's lives. I'm Jason Reynolds. When you're involved in a major car or truck accident, my team is on your side. You don't have to be alone. Let's do this together.
And I'm Stephen Samuels. When you're hurt at work, my team is with you from start to finish. We're people with a passion for helping injured workers. Bring your case to us and stop the worry. We've got this.
Samuels Reynolds. True injuries, true lawyers. 803-779-4000.
One search engine is used by 9 out of 10 consumers. Hint, the name begins with a G. And there are hundreds of things that go into being ranked highly by that engine. Your website, your business profile, even your social accounts. A couple of slip-ups and you find yourself on page 7. But at Cumulus Boost, we have the experts and resources to fix what's wrong and boost your findability so you can rank higher than your competition. Get started today at cumulusboost.com. CUMULUS boost.com.
Strengthening the lives of children and families is a passion. Turn that passion into results as a child welfare case manager. Learn more at dss.sc.gov. This message is sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Social Services.
1075 The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 1075 The Game.
Hey, everybody, a good Thursday morning to you again. It's time for another First Alert traffic update. This one not coming with much of an update, always a good thing. We have not seen anything in the way of major slowdowns, confirmed collisions causing major problems or backups all around the region. Just your typical day-to-day traffic around the Columbia area on interstates. Of course, just got to give yourselves a little bit of extra time. And also that reminder later today is high temperatures that will climb into the upper 80s will come along with temperatures inside of an enclosed car over 100. It is going to be a very toasty day out there. Make sure you're being smart, safe, and keeping it cool. This has been a WIS First Alert traffic update. I'm meteorologist Tony Chiavaroli.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
Discover Herndon Certified, Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence knowing Herndon Chevrolet has got you covered.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Liv's getting fired up in here. She's just so full of topics. She's over here like Dylan. She's talking about Dylan Brooks and the Lakers last night and the Grizzlies and all the things that are transpiring in the NBA. It was a good night of playoffs. I will admit, last night I was heavily involved, more so in the NHL. I got into the NHL last night. The Hurricanes were playing. I'll contend. I'll tell both of you again. NHL playoffs, and I like the NBA. I get into it, but I will watch the NHL playoffs over any other playoff. Football's different because it's a win or go home situation, but the atmosphere, the pace. Like last night, you're watching the Hurricanes and the Islanders, and they go to overtime, and I'm fighting. I got one eye open. I'm like battling, and they go to there in overtime. And it's a goal, and it's over. Ball game. I mean, it's not like in the NBA. You go to overtime, somebody hits a three. I mean, can you imagine if you go to overtime and it's just sudden death? Somebody hits a three, and that's it.
First points wins.
First basket wins. But we were talking about competitiveness, and Liv was getting into a little bit of trash talking discussion about Dylan Brooks, and I'm okay with this. Dylan Brooks even saying "I poke bears," which not the best phrase to use. I'll use that now since we're in the 8 o'clock hour. But like, I'm okay with this. You have to do what you have to do. There are players that have made a name for themselves as being that guy. Now you better uphold that reputation. I'm trying to think of which player it was that like deemed himself the Kobe stopper, and then Kobe went for about 97 in a playoff game. But I'm trying to remember who it was who like deemed himself that. It was somebody for the Spurs, I think, and they just got shredded. Bruce Bowen is exactly who it was. And then Kobe was like, all right, I got you, homie. Like, here's a 50-pointer. But I had no problem with that. Jordan was a trash talker. Kobe was a trash talker. I love that. Like, there's a line you draw.
The line is, you just said Jordan, Kobe, Dylan Brooks. There's the line you just drew, Bill, was talent. That was the line that you drew, right? What is it like when somebody who is very unskilled, yet their only thing that they want to do is talk trash?
So what about Bill?
I forgot to go get the trophy. Will you go get my trophy for me and bring it in here?
He
Since the
wins
Corey
by
Pool
1
Solutions?
point, and that was under protest. I think the other season he won by about 2 points. Anyway, go ahead.
Keyword is one.
See how it goes?
Keyword is one.
A provocateur. So
doesn't matter.
If somebody is not skilled and yet they continuously talk trash, what is that about?
It's just like, it's trying to create relevance. And I mean, I do agree. I think trash talk is awesome. I think it's part of sports. I think it's great, especially on the professional level. Like, these are like the best athletes in the world, and they're still just like talking trash like teenagers. I think it's hilarious, and I think it keeps the entertainment factor just like even more heightened. And it keeps people fired up, like it makes these playoff times really, really interesting, especially when you see teams like Memphis, who are like a young team, got young players who they got mouths on them. So it's fun. It's fun.
You know, we talk about that, it being the sports being too friendly, especially NBA because of the AAU culture, like playing. And so that's another reason why I like it is when you have a rivalry or when you see somebody kind of spot. Now, LeBron's probably going to give it back to Dylan Brooks. And actually what bothers me more about Dylan Brooks as I watch the video is running your mouth after the game with white shades on, with your shirt completely open, with a gold chain in the middle of it. Like, you want to throw the suit on, you want to look professional and run your mouth. I'm all for it. Let's not like at your locker do it in front of reporters like that. But I'm okay with it because I think at times we hear about the super teams. All right, we're going to all team up together and we're going to win a championship. Like that's what Kevin Durant's been ripped for, right? Like is he couldn't get it done in OKC, so I'm just going to go hang out with Steph and Clay and Draymond and win myself championships. Now I'm going to go to New Jersey or Brooklyn and can't get it done. And now he's out in Phoenix with Devin Booker, and we'll see what happens. But like that's instead of being your own person, having your own opinions, I guess we'll say, that's what you want more of out of your athletes, right?
I mean,
or do we want the buddy?
No,
the person who doesn't talk.
I'm fine with somebody talking trash. I just think what's the line of who do you you, Dylan Brooks, cannot talk to me, LeBron James. You are you, and I am who I am. What are you doing?
He's deeming himself able to do that though, which I think, I mean, it's annoying, but I think it's like awesome at the same time. It's like, all right, like why not? You know, he's got that confidence, or he's just really trying
now
to get
his second point was, I'll stop when somebody gives me 40. LeBron gave him 28 last night. What is the level of like, all right, I think maybe for obviously for Dylan Brooks is 40. But is there a point before 40 where you're like, all right.
Well, you know why it's 40?
No.
There's only one player who scored 40 points. I mean, and 40's a game. Like let's not act like 40's a couple buckets like like 40 you had a game, and I love this from Dylan Brooks because for somewhere along the line he set that 40-point standard.
Okay.
I think because people had a lot of 30-point games, but the only player to score 40 against the Grizzlies in a game that Dylan Brooks played in the season was Damian Lillard, who I love. Huge Damian Lillard fan. But I like how 40 somehow got to be the bar.
Yeah.
All right. So 40 is the number. All right. Anything before 40, I'm still talking trash, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's valid, but I mean, if you have 28 and an L, I mean, I would be more impressed about an L in the playoffs. Like those.
So let's not get general. Olivia, have you ever been cooking somebody and they've been talking trash and you're like, what? Why are you talking trash?
Yeah.
Do you resort to look at the scoreboard, or what's your immediate comeback?
I mean, the point to the scoreboard is always Old Faithful, but I mean, just if you just look at them crazy, like why are you doing this to yourself? Like it's not getting you anywhere. And AAU was days for trash talk, and especially like just looking at people like you're so confused on why they're doing this to themselves.
You never pulled the come get your girl. Like I just started talking. I quit talking to that person and started talking to their teammates.
Yeah.
It was like,
that's good.
Your boy's in trouble over here.
Yeah.
And I didn't have many games where I could do that. There's like 3 in particular I remember in camp settings, and 803-404-60.
I think that's a solid response actually to do it that way, because I almost think you irritate them more if you're not responding directly to them. You know, like if they can't even get a rise out of you, then it's like, oh, now they're even more mad. You know, and I don't know, but.
And the point of it too is to throw them off their game. I mean, that's honestly the point of it. Artia weighs in on our live stream. I love this. She says, weirdest thing I've been competitive about, the merge order lane in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru. And she says, this may have just happened.
You know, that is solid. I think they have it handled better than some of the other. Like they're pretty good about saying, follow this car.
Yeah.
You know, but there's others that it's like you're jockeying for position, man.
That's right. Gotta get that Chick-fil-A breakfast.
And Chick-fil-A is such a pleasant place, Artia. Why you gonna bring that energy to Chick-fil-A? They're just trying to get your order, right?
Yeah.
Artia, have a blessed day.
803-404-6100. We'll continue on. Carrie Tharp coming up in about 12 minutes. It's the Corley Pool Solutions Checkered Flag Challenge that we've got. We'll bring Liv right on in with us. We'll see how she does in some NASCAR stuff. 803-404-6100. If you got something you want to weigh in this morning, it's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
107.5 The Game on demand podcast menu.
Sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
If you're dealing with injuries or pain, our team is here to get you better sooner.
On the home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
that time of year that you need to start thinking about Columbia being famously hot, because if you've lived here for a little while, you're well aware during the summertime, your air conditioner better work properly. And right now, AAA Heating and Air is ready to take care of you and your family. They got some incredible deals going on, and you can save as much as $5,300 on a brand new heating and air unit. You heard that right, $5,300. It starts with a $1,500 rebate to buy back your old unit. That's the first thing that AAA Heating and Air will offer you. And then from there, right now, there are tax credits you can take advantage of to save another $3,800. That's right. All that adds up to a $5,300 savings. And you know what? If you've got good credit, you can get 0% financing. Now is the absolute best time to contact AAA Heating and Air. Give them a phone call today, 803-677-1500. Again, that's 803-677-1500. Contact AAA Heating and Air today. They've also got a fantastic 15-year part and labor warranty that they want to make sure you take advantage of. There's so many great deals. Now is the time. You can get new comfort in your home as soon as tomorrow with a phone call today. 803-677-1500. Contact AAA Heating and Air today. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
Plus, text second title with approved credit. Call 888-320-6359 for details. JT's Kia just received nearly 200 new Kias fresh off the truck, and we're trying to move them quick. So while they last, you can get a spanking new Kia from $18,990. Drive the perfect SUV crossover, the Kia Sorento, for just $239 a month. And your credit problem is no longer a problem when you see JT. Don't miss these deals. Rush to JT's Kia, Killian Commons Parkway, jtskia.com.
Boot and hat season is upon us, y'all. Pistol Creek has all those favorites from out west. Boots by Ariat, Justin, Tony Lama, Thoroughgood, Lou Casey, Dan Post, Dingo, and more. Pistol Creek has Columbia's largest selection of boots and hats. Hundreds to choose from. Get one for him and one for her. And don't ignore them little buckaroos. Pistol Creek West, 4350 St. Andrews Road, 10 to 7:30 Monday through Friday, 10 to 6:30 Saturday. Hats and boots for work, play, and every day. Pistol Creek West.
When you think about spring, good stuff springs to mind. You know, like spring break. Woohoo! A friend springing for drinks.
Thanks, dude.
A spring in your step. Spring fever.
Oh, behave.
And best of all, spring water dough pizza from the Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers.
Yeah, baby.
Experience the taste of spring with our amazing hand-tossed pies, spring fresh salads, and over 100 beers from around the world. Enjoy spring at the Mellow Mushroom in the Vista and on Sunset in Lexington.
That's the sound of the Doorbuster pricing event going on now at Galliana Kia on Greystone. Galliana Kia on Greystone is making deals so good, they're breaking down the doors. 2023 Kia Forte LXS, lease for just $199 per month. 2023 Kia Sorento LX, lease for just $299 per month. Upgrade to a new Kia today. We'll get you out of your current loan or lease, even if you're over mileage, have months left, or still owe thousands. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. If you got a job and you make at least $2,000 per month, our lenders can get you approved. Don't miss these doorbuster deals. New Kias for $199 per month. Gotta go to Galliana. The sooner you come, the more you save at Galliana Kia on Greystone. I-126 Zoo Exit in Columbia. Call 779-7300 or KiaColumbia.com. Sorento stock number K3699. Forte stock number 3K1548. 24-month leases, 10,000 miles per year. $39.99 to its signing plus tax tag includes $225 closing fee. No security deposit. Negative trade equity financed in new loan subject to lender approval. Expires month end.
Spectrum Business is the no-nonsense way for small businesses to stay connected with fast, reliable internet service and Spectrum Business Connect, the all-in-one app to make calls, host video conferences, and send texts. Connect to customers from any device, anywhere. Get both and get one mobile line free for 1 year. No contracts, no hidden fees, no nonsense. Just business. Visit spectrum.com/business today. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
You haven't tasted real Carolina barbecue until you've experienced Little Pigs Barbecue. Full-service dine-in buffet with barbecue ribs, brisket, chicken, rice, hash, tomato pie, macaroni and cheese, and many more of your favorites. Eat in or take out. Little Pigs Barbecue on Alpine Road is open from 11 to 2 on Wednesday, 11 to 8 Thursday through Saturday, and 11 to 3 on Sunday. Little Pigs Barbecue on Alpine Road. Little Pigs family looks forward to seeing you soon.
Hey, y'all. Jay Phillips here from my good friends at Dan's Van City in Harbison. Ceiling fans don't sound like something you think about a lot because you don't really need to, but when you've got good ones, they work so well, keeping energy costs down and your comfort level up. All kinds of fans at Dan's Fan City, big to small and quiet. Quality fans. They have accessories and light kits, fan blades, and more. Stop by and see them soon. Harbison Boulevard next to Total Wine, or call Dan's Fan City 781-FANS. You'll be glad you did.
Sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Hey everybody, a good Thursday morning to you again. It's time for another First Alert traffic update. This one not coming with much of an update, always a good thing. We have not seen anything in the way of major slowdowns, confirmed collisions causing major problems or backups all around the region. Just your typical day-to-day traffic around the Columbia area on interstates. Of course, just got to give yourselves a little bit of extra time. And also that reminder later today is high temperatures that will climb into the upper 80s will come along with temperatures inside of an enclosed car over 100. It is going to be a very toasty day out there. Make sure you're being smart, safe, and keeping it cool. This has been a WIS First Alert Traffic Update. I'm meteorologist Tony Chiavaroli.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
$8:38 on your Thursday morning. Reminder, you can go to 1075thegame.com, click on Sweet Deals, and check out our craft beer passport. Get 38 craft beers for $99, a $285 value for just $95. You can even go see Jay and Terry today. They'll be out and about at the Old Mill Brew Pub, Main Street in Lexington. So our neck of the woods out there, live from Lexington. I've grown up in Lexington. You can actually go visit that portion of the state today and hang out at the Old Mill Brew Pub with Jay and Terry. They'll be promoting the craft beer passport that we have. You go to 1075 The Game, click on Sweet Deals, and you'll be able to check that out. Again, a $99 value, 38 craft beers, 19 different locations across the Midlands. Really cool deal, and you can go and check that out. I'll tell you what, Jen, right now, let's go ahead and give away. See if Jen's paying. Jen, I tell you what, let's go ahead real quick and give away these tickets to South Carolina, Florida. 803-404-6100. Callers 4 and 5. We got 2 pairs of tickets for South Carolina and Florida tonight. 2 pairs of tickets again tonight. If you want to go to the game, it is a little bit later start time, 7:30 first pitch, 7:15 pregame right here on 1075 The Game. But if you want a pair of tickets, we'll give them away to callers 4 and 5 right now. So 803-404-6100. Also want to let you know Liv's former teammate, I'm not sure how you would kind of phrase it, Kiera Fletcher, due in studio this morning for the 10 a.m. hour. So you and Kiera off to new adventures.
Yes, we are.
Now, I apologize. I'm going to put you on the spot. You had a trash talking story that you wanted to share or did not want to share?
I'll share it.
Okay.
It's fun. It's fun times. This was my dad actually texted me in the middle of me talking to like remind me of this story. And this was in high school. We were playing Dutch Fork. We were like notably rivals. I mean, we were kind of like 2 of the best teams in our region throughout my whole 4 years. So we had some beef. And this was my junior year, and we were playing them at their place, and it was a pretty close game, but I was kind of going off a little bit. But there was this one girl, she was just like getting up under my skin. She kept like bumping me and shoving me, and I'm not really in the game. I'm not really a big talker. It's more like if I'm doing like some 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 stuff, if I really know you and I'm like comfortable. But in a game, I'm just gonna kind of let the game kind of speak for itself. But it was getting towards the end of the game. It's getting chippy in there. It's kind of loud. She's still in my grill at all times. And I have her on the sideline near our bench. And I'm working her a little bit, and I hit this snatchback, and she falls down.
Uh-oh.
And it was
Oh, that's not good.
awesome. And then I back up and I'm like looking at her. I'm dribbling and I'm looking at her. I'm waiting for her to get up. And then once she's back guarding me, she gets back up on me again. And I take her middle and I do the same thing and she falls again.
Oh no.
And it was just like that was peak. And I will never forget that. That was the best moment of like trash talking, just getting
You got one for you, Preston. That was
I want to hear yours.
That's a pleasurable moment, man. Nah, I don't want.
You never had one where you jawed at the pitcher or something and then took one?
I don't want to dim that light because I can just imagine the idea. I could just see the gym. Oh,
twice
just,
at Dutch Fork too.
Oh,
so it's like they're trying not to be like, but yeah, it was awesome.
Oof, that's sweet. That's what you want.
Yep. It was awesome.
803-404-6100 if you want to weigh in some trash talking stories this morning. And again, it comes back to competitiveness, I think. And we'll circle back around here for a second as to how, because I like having the conversations about parenting and how you try to raise your kids these days. And I think there is a fine line between sending your child out there just jawing at everybody and anybody on the other team, and then also having that competitive spirit and kind of taking losing personally. Is there, let's eliminate the last 3 weeks for you, but is there a loss from your well, I would say middle school, little league days that particularly stuck with you early on?
Oh man. So my middle school, we like never won a regional like championship thing, which for us was like the end of it. Like the region championship game was like that was it. And we never won one. So that was pretty devastating. And I remember we lost one, and on the car ride home, I got like stomach cramps so bad that I was like in excruciating pain just because I was so upset.
What I really love about this story is the idea that a national champion could be like that middle school regional.
Yeah,
I can't get over it.
We never.
Well, I told her to eliminate the kind of the college days.
Yeah, but just the idea of like I've done a lot of winning, but that one time in middle school.
But isn't that's what makes like Steve Spurrier was that way? That's what makes like truly great athletes is they remember. Like Spurrier really couldn't remember your name. Like he'd meet you and hey, my man, but he'd be like, yeah, 1960 something. I threw a pass like for 12 yards and it was just an up and out, and he'd know exactly who he threw it to and what the coverage was and what the play was. Like it was just kind of one of those crazy things. 803-404-6100. How you can weigh in this morning. Coming up next, Carrie Tharp joins us. Are you ready for a little NASCAR discussion?
I guess I am.
Yeah, you really don't have an option. I'll be dead honest on that.
And you're fired up, I see.
We are ready to go. Talladega this weekend. Jen, what do you know about Talladega?
What do you know about Talladega?
Well, let's just start with where it's at. It's in the state of Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Anything in particular about the configuration of the course or, the cars, how they're set up for this week?
They have 4 tires.
Mm-hmm.
They're driving in a circle.
And so, again, for the people who say, oh, look at Bill, he's won 2 championships. Yep, it's all based on luck, and I'm okay with that because at least I can talk a little intelligently about NASCAR.
Great. I'm going to a golf tournament after this. You know what I'm going to get all day long?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you and Jen not get along? How do y'all work? Like people, second most asked question about this program. Number 1 is how fat are you? Because of all the donuts we've talked about and eating. And I'm like, I'm actually relatively skinny. And the second one is like, you and Jen seem to really hate each other. How do y'all work together every morning? Like it's a joke. It's a radio program. We cut up. We have a good time. 803-404-6100. Carrie Tharp up next. You're on the early game.
Gotta take.
Hit us up on the Firehouse Subs text line.
Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
803-404-6100.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
1075 The Game.
It's that time of year to go home and jump in your pool. Like after a long day of work with Jen, I'm ready to go home and relax. But if you've got a dirty pool, well, that doesn't do you any good. You need Corley Pool Solutions. Tracy Corley, with over 20 years of experience in the pool maintaining business, is ready to make sure your pool is ready to be used. So if you've had a long day at work dealing with certain coworkers, you can go home and relax. But again, if that pool's dirty, you're going to have to go to the pool store yourself. You're going to have to waste your valuable time. You're going to have to spend more money than you're accustomed to spending. You might not even get the right chemicals. At Corley Pool Solutions, they will treat, maintain, and inspect your pool on a weekly basis and do it at a flat rate cost that includes all of the chemicals. They'll even prevent expensive damage to pool equipment just by being able to take care of your pool. So call Tracy Corley today, 803-445-8109. Again, that's 803-445-8109. Don't wait any longer. Contact Tracy Corley today. You're going to be ready to use your pool in just a few weeks. It's going to be nice and hot, and with summertime around the corner, it is officially swim season. So spend time enjoying your pool. Let Corley Pool Solutions take care of the rest. That's right. No worries, less stress, all with flat rate pricing. 803-445-8109. That's Corley Pool Solutions.
Sponsored by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Train Heating and Cooling Systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent Train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a Train.
Let's text entitled with approved credit call 866-243-4623 for details. JT means Jeeps and trucks. The biggest Jeep and truck selection in South Carolina is at JT's Jeep Ram Lexington. Get your new 2023 Jeep Wrangler now. Save $5,000 off. Cherokee, Grand Cherokee, Compass, Wagoneer. New Jeeps up to $7,500 off. New Rams up to $11,000 off. Shaky credit, don't sweat it. JT says you're approved. JT means Jeeps and trucks. 378 Lexington. JT'sJeepRam.com. Jeep celebration event.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring sergeants and lieutenants statewide. If you have correctional, security, military, or police experience, you can join SCDC as a sergeant or lieutenant. There's $7,500 sign-on bonuses, increased pay, and great employee benefits available. Start your new year off with a new career. Visit joinscdc.com to apply today or call 803-734-JOBS for more information.
Breathe easier with Zerorez Air Duct Cleaning. For this month only, mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you'll get $30 off your next air duct cleaning. Use promo code AIR30 when scheduling online at ZerorezColumbia.com.
Join the McDaniels Automotive Group and the Lexington Medical Center Foundation on Saturday, April 22nd at the Pastides Alumni Center for the McDaniels Golf Classic Gala, featuring live and silent auctions, Southern Way catering, and live music by the Crystal Clear Band. Proceeds support programs and services at Lexington Medical Cancer Center, from diagnosis to survivorship. Purchase your tickets today at McDanielsGolfClassic.com. South Carolina weather can be a little crazy. Make sure your biggest investment is protected. Call the guys in the powder blue trucks, the Guttermen. They've been providing top-notch service throughout the Midlands for over 40 years. Call the Guttermen today at 791-7147. That's 791-7147.
We keep the clutter out of your gutter. Call on the Gutterman.
The demand for your used car is at an all-time high, and it's never been worth more. Herndon Chevrolet needs your trade. We'll buy your car, even if you don't buy ours. And to prove it, we're willing to beat any written offer by $500. That's right, we'll beat any written offer by $500. Visit Herndon Chevrolet today.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile. Smile.
803-630-5929 for more details. Statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Hey everybody, a good Thursday morning to you again. It's time for another First Alert traffic update. This one not coming with much of an update, always a good thing. We have not seen anything in the way of major slowdowns, confirmed collisions causing major problems, or backups all around the region. Just your typical day-to-day traffic around the Columbia area on interstates. Of course, just got to give yourselves a little bit of extra time. And also that reminder later today is high temperatures that will climb into the upper 80s will come along with temperatures inside of an enclosed car over 100. It is going to be a very toasty day out there. Make sure you're being smart, safe, and keeping it cool. This has been a WIS First Alert Traffic Update. I'm meteorologist Tony Chivaroli.
And we do have one quick update that might not have been in there, and that's I-20 westbound between Clemson Road and Alpine Road. Big parking lot there. So just be cautious and allow a little extra time. Again, that's I-20 westbound between Clemson Road and Alpine Road. Maybe even dig out an alternate route if possible.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. The Early Game with Bill Gunter.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
And Jen Jensen on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
Eric Church wrote a song about Talladega. That's another thing I know about Talladega. Jen, it's actually a very good music video as well.
Mm-hmm.
Joining us now to give a lot more information on Talladega.
I can't get him to admit what kind of a track it is or what kind of racing takes place at Talladega, Mr. Carey, but that's okay. He's convinced that his knowledge is superior because he at least knows it's in Alabama.
Jen.
Well,
Go ahead, Carey.
It seems like to me the extent of his knowledge is he knows that Eric Church wrote a song about Talladega.
Correct.
And there's also, he probably also remembers the movie Talladega Nights. But outside of that, I seriously doubt if Bill has anything of substance knowledge about that super speedway.
Yeah, that would be correct. It's all pile on Bill day.
Beg to differ. I'm in.
Hold on, he's Google searching. Hold on,
tied for second place right now in our picks contest. But you know who's tied for first?
Carey and Preston. Oh, I didn't send. I'm sorry, Carey. I did not send you the updated
Yeah.
stats. I apologize,
That's all right,
Carey.
Jen.
You were in first.
I know you're slacking.
I
but
know.
I thought that I had a pretty good pick last week, I think, at Martinsville.
You
And
did.
so I'm starting to creep up the leaderboard.
No,
Bill,
you're
and-
tied for first. You're not creeping up the leaderboard. You're on the leaderboard. You're the leader with Preston of all people.
Preston, my man.
I've got 28. Reggie's got 27, and Jen's got 26. Now, Carey, in all seriousness, we've got Liv Thompson in here, and she's joining us now, becoming a part of the program. We're indoctrinating her into this. Tell her a little bit though about a much bigger race that is now, 4 weeks away? Is that right? 1, 2, 3.
Oh my goodness. No, not 4 weeks away. We're looking to like 23 days away, Bill. But welcome to the program, Liv. We've got the official throwback weekend of NASCAR, May 12th through 14th. And that is the one opportunity for our sport to pay tribute to all of the heroes and legends that helped build the sport. And we're inviting back the top 75 greatest drivers that are still with us. And we look to have a really, really select group of those legends with us on Saturday and Sunday of race weekend. And it'll be like taking a walk down memory lane. It's a reunion of sorts that we invite folks back that helped build the sport. And certainly even this year, it's even a bigger platform for us, as this is the 75th anniversary of NASCAR.
Liv, have you mentioned this is all a little new to you? Have you ever even taken a few minutes to check out a NASCAR race or gotten into it? Can you name a driver?
Dale Earnhardt. And that's all I got. That is my knowledge of NASCAR.
And that's okay.
I'm very
That's all
sorry.
right.
I need to educate myself a little bit more on it.
Well, you're a South Carolina girl. You're from Lexington. It is one of the bucket list items that you should go to. Last year, Carey hooked up Patrick Perrette, and Carey's right. 24 days, 6 hours, 4 minutes, 45 seconds until the Goodyear 400, May 14th, 3 o'clock. And Carey, certainly next week we'll talk a lot more with you about Darlington. But right now we got to make some picks. So Liv, kind of pay attention here. See how this goes. This is new. As of right now, unfortunately, Jen, you're still in last place.
That means I get to pick first.
You get to pick first. Who are you going with?
All right, I'm going to get back on the Blaney train. I'm going to take Blaney for the win.
Blaney for the win. Okay, not a bad pick. Not what I would have chosen, but of course, that's why I'm in second place.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Oh. Don't you hate that
Yeah,
when the
when
mic
my
just
mic, nothing in this thing works. Nothing in this
the mic
studio.
just went off accidentally? I don't know what happened.
Mike just went out. Reggie's got the second pick. Do we know who Reggie's taking?
We do not, so we'll just move on to Bill.
All right, I'm going to go with my guy, and he's been good so far. Give me Denny Hamlin. He was Preston's pick last week. Preston had 4 points off of that. I'm going to go Denny Hamlin, my guy. Preston, normally I'd let you pick here, but unfortunately we always let Kerry pick because he's apparently the guest.
He's
Kerry,
a superstar.
He's a superstar. Kerry, who are you taking in Talladega?
Well, I tell you, I'm going to go on a little bit of a limb here. I'd like to see this guy get back in victory lane. I'm going to go with Brad Keselowski over at RFK, the number 6 car, to get another win at Talladega.
I like that.
Kerry took my pick. I knew Brad was a 6-time Talladega winner. He's been off for 2 years and he hasn't won, so I was prepared for this situation. I'm going to go with a dark horse.
Oh, boy.
We're going with Eric Jones.
Okay. Ooh, that is a dark horse.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he a linebacker for the Ravens?
But he's also won twice at Darlington, so
there we
that's
go.
a pretty good pick. Right?
Yep.
Very good. Yeah. No, that's incredible. Hey, and real quick, I know we got to go, and we'll talk more at length about Darlington, but I'm pretty excited about the official starters, Ricky Craven and Kurt Busch at Darlington.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ricky Craven, Kurt Busch. 20 years ago, they had the closest finish in the history of NASCAR, 2 1,000ths of a second. And they're going to be up in the starter stand, wave the green flags, and get everybody ready to race on May 14th for the Goodyear 400. It's going to be really, really exciting.
Very exciting.
24 days away. We will talk with you more about that. We'll get Liv involved more in the NASCAR portion. We got to get her some training. Kerry, we always appreciate you stopping by.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Kerry.
Take care. That'll do it for today. Tomorrow morning, we are out at Fort Jackson. We'll tell you more about that. Liv, always appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you next week. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
This is Gamecock quarterback Spencer Rattler, and you're listening to 107.5 The Game, the home of the Gamecocks.
A Cumulus media station.
Spectrum Business is the no-nonsense way for small businesses to stay connected with fast, reliable internet service and...
All right, everybody. We're gone. Get out of the way. Yeah, there you go. Y'all have a good day. Take care.
Bye, guys.